right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
I think we're gonna be glad. I think it's today, yeah. Connor Brown scored last night. His dragon is slain. He's finally out the schneid. He's finally out the schneid. Connor Brown's off to the schneid. It's about fucking time. He's had chances galore, 2-1s and breakaways, yeah. But he could never score, even strength of power play. He's finally out the schneid. He's finally out the schneid. Connor Brown's off at the schneid. It's about fucking time. Got to play McDavid line. You should have scored once, you should have scored twice by now. And got to play alongside Drive. How could he not score? How did he not score? How? He's played on every line, but he's best on PK. Yeah. He could never find the twine till he found his last game, yeah. He's finally out the schneid. He's finally out the schneid. Connor Brown's off of the schneid. It's about fucking time. It's about fucking time. It's about fucking time.
My name is Jeff.
Get her!
My name is Jeff.
Get her!
Inconceivable.
My name is Jeff.
Get her!
My name is Jeff.
Get her!
And here he is, having the time of his life.
My name is Jeff.
Get her!
Very impressive. Taken a few years to put all this together.
It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on. At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas. It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow. You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine.
Girl, I can't understand it. Why you wanna hurt me?
That's why it's the Stanley Cup.
After all of the things I've done for you.
It's hard. It's hard.
I buy you champagne and roses, put diamonds on your finger. Still you hang out all night. What am I to do? My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
That's how you start a Friday show. What's going on, AM Nasties? Thank you very much for being here. EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeart, YouTube, a podcast later on after the fact. Thank you very much for being here today. Good morning, LT.
Good morning.
I
Great.
could have kept going. I get in here with my little finger touch screen, and I'm just like, Daddy likes remix.
Daddy.
Like, there's just so many things we can
Kevin
do.
Harlan
Kevin
calling
man.
threes, eh?
Kevin Harlan just, I mean, that's good coming up at 8:30.
Oh,
but what
wait.
a run Kevin Harlan is on, and I think he's the best to do it. So
No!
Oh, yeah, I know. Just Harlan is the best. God, I love that guy. I love that man. I love him. I'm a huge fanboy. Big time crush on Kevin Harlan. All right, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999.
What a difference a week makes, eh? From Friday shows. I mean,
still a somber event with Leon leaving injured last night. But you have to hope he's okay. Maybe get a little bit of rest.
He just
They're
stepped
playing
on
the
a
Kings
puck.
in the first round.
just stepped on
Simple
a puck.
as that. Who cares how much these guys play down the stretch?
Or maybe Vegas.
Get them all healthy. They're not going to play Vegas. Well, could the Kings track them?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you want to play St. Louis really with the
Talk
way
about
they're going
another
right
team
now?
that's a bit banged up as well in the Golden Knights and the way the Kings are going. I don't know.
Oh, boy. It's exciting times. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. This has got to be a 300-like show. We've got a great show locked and loaded for you. We're already at 47, 53 likes away. Let's hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube today. Shout out to Tommy and Hernan for not starting a post-game show until like 11:15, 11:20 last night. So that was...
Especially after Hernan
good.
getting another bad beat in the Tecmo Bowl yesterday. I mean, he could have.
Oh, yeah, Hernan. I mean, this
took a
guy,
personal day afterwards.
guy is not going to make it through the season for Tecmo. By the way, I've signed us up for our Twitch account. I think we're going to do a test stream today after the show. And then regular season play on Twitch will begin next week. We've got a 7-man league. The 4 originals, myself, Hernan, Matty, Yukon Jack from the Bears is going to be coming over here to play all his regular season games. And then we've got YouTube, Trev, Reed, and Jay, who've also thrown their hat into the mix for Tecmo League. So we have to do a draft of teams early next week, but it looks like we're ready to get rolling with regular season play. Anyway, Hernan led yesterday. So I'm in control of this game from start to finish. I was up 13-0 at one point. It's 20-10, and he's driving the field, and he gets stopped at like the 5-yard line with like 50 seconds left. Gets it down to the 1. Then he goes from the 1. I stop him. I stuff him. There's a play in Tecmo where you can pick to just dive over the pile. And I picked on the defense that he was going to do it, so I stuffed him. And there was 1 second left on the clock, and he's trying to hit a timeout, and he was smashing buttons and couldn't get the timeout in. And the game ends 20-10. He goes, no, that was 2017. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I still had time left. I just couldn't get the timeout. He goes,
If you heard the hangout yesterday, that was all the controversy erupting
He's
from
like,
there.
essentially, it was a 2017 game. I said, it was 20-10. You had a chance to punch it in from the 1, and you didn't. I stopped you. He goes, yeah, but if I could have got the timeout, I said, but you didn't get the timeout. That's the key. In order to get the timeout, you must take the timeout.
Yeah.
So, but he kept on it all day. I said to him at one point, I said, I don't know if this is a bit or like you're legitimately deep down inside believing you lost that game.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
So is he blaming the machine? Did he say like he was trying to like,
But in order to get a timeout in a matter of seconds, you need to hit 3 perfect buttons in a row. Like,
so did he try? Did he make the attempt?
he was
so he just didn't know what he was. He was panicking.
Yeah, he was panicking.
Yeah. If he would have
It didn't
scored more
matter. He was
points-
down by 10.
But if he would have scored more points than you,
yeah,
he would have won.
you know, that's a good point. If Hernan would have ended up scoring more points than me, it would have been a
Just
job.
saying, that's
the type of stuff he says, though. He goes, I was basically a better team. I beat him by 10. Like, God, that guy's not going to be able to handle it. Jen says, what's your Twitch name? I think our Twitch name is, just sign up for Yella. If you go to twitch.com/Yag Sports Talk.
No, Dustin,
that's where you can find us.
69.
No, that was my other account. I had to get a new one, a more legitimate one. I think it's twitch.com/Yag Sports Talk, and the season should be up soon. Also, this is big news.
Great.
How about this?
I mean, this is
Our new EST, like NWO sort of branded shirts.
too sweet.
I'm not really getting the reference. There you go, Trev. Let me see. Look at this thing. They come in black and they come in blue with the yellow EST branding in the middle of it. They are available. This is kind of neat. Like, we've done a lot of cool things since we launched Edmonton Sports Talk. Obviously, having our own swag, the hat from the Hive up there, my hat's from the Hive. We got all these different branded hats, and all of our EST branded clothing from the Hive is great. We launched our beer with Alleycat, which coincidentally, Alleycat is in for beer of the week today. Lachlan from Alleycat will be back in. We had the Birdie Booze going as well. We're looking to maybe fire that back up. But this is the first time you'll be able to go into a store locally and buy EST merch, which is, it's kind of a cool, like I'm going to go by one of the stores and just kind of get a picture of our stuff in a store, which is kind of cool. It's going to be available at all of the 780 locations. I think they'll go pretty quick. So if you want to grab one, you're going to have to swing by probably over the weekend. I know Adore over there will run out. He'll run off some more if they move really well. But 780, you can find it Southgate Mall, Londonderry Mall, St. Albert Center, Kingsway, and then the Outlet Mall down by the airport. They've got 5 locations, EST shirts, blue and black, at all 5 of them. So let's show 780 what the nasties are all about. Go pick up your EST. And it looks nice.
Representing the yellow and black.
Yeah,
You're like a Kevin Nash.
Am I? It's a weird thing because I know nothing really about NWO.
Nah.
I was just...
The glory years of wrestling.
Yeah. Anyway, pick up your shirt today.
Too
780. Somebody yesterday had tweeted at me a picture of this. They're like, got an advanced copy. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't even have one of these yet. But I think like
his mall employee
his
or something.
daughter, I think his daughter works at the store in one of the malls, St. Albert, maybe.
No, it'll be a hot item.
It'll be a hot item.
Yeah.
It'll be a hot item. So go pick it up at 780. All their locations. One more time. Southgate, Londonderry, St. Albert Center, Kingsway, and then the Outlet Mall by the airport. All right. You can text us anytime. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. And if you need a conch this morning, let us know why. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube, you can hammer the thumbs up. George Conlon saying, "What's the biggest size?" I think they're going to have there's only going to be 12 black and 12 blue at every location to start. So you gotta move quick. They'll have medium. I think there might be like one small, a few mediums, larges, XL, double XL. I think maybe at least one triple at each location. But let's go sell them out, and I'm sure Adore will make as many as he needs to, which is exciting for us. It's kind of cool. Hey, going into a store and seeing one of our, I can't wait to do it. Right after Oil Stream today, I'll be driving to one of the locations and going in the store and seeing our stuff, and probably bring a tear to my eye. Eric, it'll probably bring a tear to my eye.
Too sweet.
Also, I'm going to have to get that clip. I don't want you to have to do it all day. I'll have to get that at some point. Also, something big for this show at 6:50 today. Old tech wizard. Hey, I don't want to say too much, but
it was a hell of an idea.
Yeah. YouTube Rev came up with it himself.
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully other shows can copy us.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to kind of take a page out of his book. Yeah.
It's going to be a very successful thing. All right, let's lay out the show for you today. We'll get into your morning announcements. The morning after show coming up as the Oilers get goals for some unusual suspects, but guys that they're going to need to get going come playoff time, which was kind of big. We'll crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards, where it is National Hockey Card Day tomorrow. Wayne's will be lined up early. I usually like to sort of hit that sweet spot around 4 o'clock when it's sort of dying down.
Doors at 11. I'm thinking of going around 9.
Come on. Are you going to be lineup guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, the weather will be fair.
The weather will be fair.
That is like
that'll get you. That'll get you probably top 20
because you want to be the top
first
1. The top 150 get a. Isn't that what it is?
The first 150, there's probably like surprises.
Yeah.
Wayne was actually on with the boys yesterday.
I want to be 150. I want to be 150.
Sometimes this will be lined up all the way down past like Mr. Barber around the corner.
Yeah.
It's insane. They'll have all their balloon. The balloon pop's always popular. I was in there yesterday picking up a break for the weekend. By the way, crack packers. I don't know what I'm thinking.
The chase is on.
But we are going Connor McDavid young gun hunting with the Crack Pack this week on Facebook. So if you've not yet joined the Crack Pack on Facebook, just search the Crack Pack, ask to join, I'll let you in. And we're almost at 1,000 members. But yeah, we're going Connor McDavid young gun hunting for like the first time in a long, long time. So be ready for that break. I'll post more information on that this afternoon over on the Crack Pack page, but I'm pretty excited about that. Chris Johnston, reporter Chris is where you can find him online. He's going to join us just after 7 o'clock. We'll break down the Oilers and Sharks. And what does that offseason look like in San Jose? And like you got a couple good young pieces, but like
I know we had fun with the Bruce clip yesterday and they stink, but this is 2 1-goal wins for the Oilers against them. They have some young pieces. Like there's something there that you can build off.
They do
of.
suck right now.
No, I get it. Yeah, but
what do you do?
You gotta do the suck before you get the good.
So I'm curious what that's going to look like. We'll get into that a little bit with Chris Johnston. Cool but Canada play of the day. We will get to that. And poker tournament Sunday night, 7:00 Edmonton time. We've got another lock shop poker series event with the boys over at Cool Bet. That'll be going down on Sunday at 7:00. Mark it in your calendars. $30 entry fee. You can rebuy for the first hour. And what did I finish last time? 5th. I don't know if I can make it back to another final table, but
I know Atif never makes them, but maybe Asif could dial in.
Plays in the tournament. I sure hope so.
That'd be something.
Dave Naylor's going to join us just after 7:30. Everybody always loves when Dave Naylor's on.
The nail gun.
He's a terrific guest. The old nail gun.
Where's he in Belize?
Who knows where?
Nicaragua.
He's all over the world. This guy. Anyway, Naylor's going to join us to talk about expectations and priorities for the new commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Stu Johnston, who I did exchange quick emails with yesterday.
Look at you.
The commish.
I like that.
I was like, you know what? I might as well reach out to him. It's a nice thing. He's been the president of a company that I worked for a long time. So I said, I kept it very simple. I mean, this was the president who's now the commish. I didn't want to.
You bumped into him in the break room that one time. Hey,
yeah. Hey, man, can I have some of that coffee? Nope. All right. Well, see you later. But I emailed him and I said, hey, congrats on a great run. Best of luck in the new position. I'm sure I'll see plenty of you down the road.
That's nice. Short and sweet.
Yeah. And then
good luck.
the commish replied with, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Very much.
Yeah.
Not just looking forward, very much.
The commish is looking forward. So we'll have him on, or Reed will have him on. One of us will have him on when it's go time later in April.
Get him in the hangouts 2 hours there on the...
if he's in town, we'll
the comfy seats. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Really
the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. What do you think a healthy version of the Edmonton Oilers can do in the playoffs? We haven't seen healthy Oilers for quite some time here. Ekholm's out having dinner with Reed Wilkins. Connor McDavid skating hard against Frederick, on the morning skates.
Kane.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, that maybe is the answer.
Who knows?
Well, because we've never seen this group all together, really.
But yeah, there could be a lineup that you see
specifically
come playoff time that you have never seen for the Oilers this year. Not ideal, but intriguing. And we'll get to that around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. That's a good for the Italian Center. I was at the Italian Center a couple days ago. We'll discuss that then. Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Alleycat, our great partners at Alleycat. Lachlan, who was in a month ago, he's going to be back in.
He can't get enough.
They're always rolling out new products too.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll have the Marmot Basin Snow Report. Let me guess, more freshy at Marmot. Place is absolutely insane right now. And then the wrap for William Huff. So we have a jam-packed, very fun Friday show. If you want to have some fun, hit up that inbox. If you need a conch this morning, you can do that as well at 780-218-9999. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for your boys. We are 14 away from just blowing past 100 here in the first half hour of the show. Chris is in and says, breaking news, Leon is out for the season and the playoffs. I don't believe you.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah, come on, Chris. You're
give it a break.
If you're going to try to pull our leg, you got to come up with something that's leg pullable. That's not going to work. All right, let's get into your morning announcements. H.E. Pennypacker says, Dusty, I was hoping you were going to say the commission responded with, who is this? That would
straight to the spam folder, eh?
Yeah. I didn't even. I got the bounce back. Yeah. Morning, boys. I was wondering if I get a conch this morning for my birthday. That's from JD. Of course we can. Yeah.
Are you a man?
Yeah. Are you 40 yet?
Is this
We'll have to find out.
I'm inquiring.
Chris says, I'm glad the new commissioner didn't say he's really looking forward to your performance review. Have a great weekend, guys.
He knows who you are, right?
I think so.
No, but I mean, I'm just because there's nothing like specific in the back and forth. So I'm just kind of like, see, you didn't say
Stu
like,
Johnston to me.
the booth. Or
Who the
something.
hell are you all of a sudden?
Just an adoring fan.
Yeah,
you know, like,
I mean, maybe he doesn't know who I am. Damn, I never thought about that. Like his reply was pretty generic.
like, did you have a signature, like voice of CFL and TSN? Or
no,
something?
no, I just said thanks, Dustin.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't know who I am. Oh well.
like knows who you are, but just didn't make the connection here based on the email.
Oh, I hope he would. I mean, but maybe he didn't. I mean, I won a bloody award with that company.
I
Remember,
understand.
he was at that luncheon when I accepted on behalf of 1260 the whatever the award was called, the Bell Media Award of Excellence for the Apollo Creed Memorial Tournament. Like,
One of us in this room was referred to as the other guy once, so don't.
were you referred to? When?
I'll tell you off air.
Was it with one of our bosses at the time? Okay.
Yes. He had an interesting head of hair, shall we say?
You know what's funny is so I mean you obviously used to work at Bell. We would get those the emails like, hey, you have to fill out this survey. You have to fill out this. You have to fill out that. You have to do your performance.
I know what to do in the event of a hurricane or earthquake. I will.
So you'll appreciate this. Since the radio station was killed, 2 years ago, I haven't done a single one of those things. Like, if I hop on, like, you know, the Bell Net or whatever, if I hop in there, it's like you have 27 notifications and surveys that you're behind on. But I don't, like, sort of directly have a boss. I'm kind of like this lone wolf out west in no man's land.
Nobody's there to tell you to do it.
Nobody's, like, there's no boss. It's like, hey, man, can you fill out those 27 surveys? I'm riding it out until somebody's like, hey, how come you didn't do this? And I said, well, nobody told me.
I do like Jess now breathing down your neck.
Also, Jess, don't tell anybody. Okay? Thanks. Morning announcers. It was a busy night in the National Hockey League last night. Rick will keep you up to date on everything that was going on with the sports updates. But a big win for the Jets last night. I was texting with Huss last night about that one. Dallas because Dallas beats Nashville 5-1. Dallas is doing everything they can to catch Winnipeg, and Winnipeg's just like, they're like,
well, they'll trip, but they don't fall. The Jets, right? That's been the story all season.
Yeah, they don't really dive into a slide.
Yeah.
But that Central Division last night, huge wins for all of them. Winnipeg shuts out Vegas 4-0. Dallas beats Nashville 5-1. And Colorado hammers the Blue Jackets 7-3. Also, hopefully you were listening and watching the Lock Shop yesterday because we had a 4-game parlay that ended up hitting yesterday. Lock Shop Partner Parlay hits a 4-gamer. Boom, let's go.
But in the Blues. 11 straight now.
5-4. I think it was Robbie Thomas in overtime with the when Dylan Holloway did get hurt in that hockey game, though. So something to keep tabs on. The Kings also won last night, 4-2 against Utah. The Flames won 4-1 against the Ducks. It was actually a pretty chalky board last night with the exception of Ottawa doubling up the Sens. Outside of that, I think all of the favorites won last night. So if you're a guy who loves to bet favorites, would have been nice last night. And how about the Habs? 4-1 over the Bruins.
Well, Senators and Habs both solidifying those wild card spots, but yeah, Habs got something magical cooking in a sense. Not Stanley Cup magical, but it's
making the playoffs
better
for them,
than
kind of
expectations. Yeah.
They're 2 points up on the New York Rangers, and the Rangers do not have a game in hand. So that was a big win last night for the Habs. Association last night on Thursday night. Had to
hit it.
Changing 100.
Oh, nice. That's going really well. Keep hammering the thumbs up for us. Warriors and Lakers last night. I had eyes on this one. Oh, did I ever. Outside of a stretch in the third quarter where I was so frustrated I had to turn away. But Steph Curry was brilliant last night. 37 points. I like Steph Curry, the person, but I hate watching Steph Curry play basketball against the Lakers or whoever. He's a phenomenal shooter. But I hate when he jumps up to shoot the three, and if anybody's anywhere around him, he's flaring his bloody legs out, trying to get the foul, and I'm like, stop it! That's why I turned away. It's like, I can't watch this garbage.
Dark arts.
Oh, it was driving me nuts. But I watched most of that game last night. Steph Curry was great. LeBron had 33 points. He was the best player in the Lakers last night. It wasn't even close. Austin Reeves had a nice game for the Lakers last night. Podziemski, I think is his name. Podziemski. Damn you, Podziemski. He had 28 points last night. Had it wasn't I think his career high was 29, but he had 22 in the first half. Dude could not miss last night. Jimmy Butler was very blah. Really didn't notice him much, which surprised me a little bit with how well they've played since getting him. Draymond Green's still a plug, but he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. But Luka last night was very concerning for me. Might have been Luka's. And I've watched almost every single Luka game since he joined the Lakers. That was probably the game that I was most disappointed by. He was just moving in slow motion last night. He was 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. Finished with 19 points. But he wasn't going. It was a frustrating game.
Big time players, big time games.
But this could be the first round match.
That's what I'm saying. This is a big time game.
I don't know if I can handle a Lakers-Warriors first rounder. I might have to take 2 weeks off. I wonder if Maddie has any of that mandated vacation for me. Maddie, do you need me to be gone for a week? I'll be gone for a week. I'm gonna go focus on the Lakers and throw some of those days my way.
Have a day.
Hey, Reed Wilkins, you want to come to work? Good work. I'll stay home. But yeah, no, it was an entertaining basketball game last night too. So that
John Morant as well, hey? Who am I?
John Morant.
He won't stop.
He thinks it's funny doing gun gestures when he's been arrested on gun charges in the past.
He'll do a bazooka. He'll prop it up.
Man, John Morant, the most talented idiot in North American professional sports. All right, on the way next, morning after show. The Edmonton Oilers get goals from Connor Brown, Victor Arvidsson,
Gracie Arvidsson,
and Jeff Skinner. That was one of those classic moments, like that Arvidsson rocket last night. That's Jeff Jackson on his burner account online being like, wow, what a great signing. It was a wicked shot. He's got, scored in 3 straight. Been pretty good for the last dozen games or so. Interesting.
He's having a great 2025.
He was always signed for 2025 and
he
part of
went missing
2026.
during 24. Yeah. I mean, we didn't see him at all.
Yeah. No, now he's back, baby. Morning after show is on the way next. If you need a conscious morning, hit us up 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, and we'll crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards and invent a technology that has never before been seen here at Edmonton Sports Talk, or possibly anywhere in the world.
And then credit to a great idea as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is what happens when you work with a genius like YouTube Trev. All right, let's get to the sports update for Kids Sport and the Bids for Kids event. You've not yet got your tickets for next Tuesday's main event. Eric's got more details on that.
Oilers hanging on to defeat the Sharks 3-2, make it 3 straight wins for Edmonton. Calvin Pickard, 27 saves on 29 shots faced. Jeff Skinner, Victor Arvidsson, Connor Brown, the goal scorers. Well, Leon Draisaitl had an assist before leaving due to injury in the second. No word on his status as the road trip will continue tomorrow afternoon in L.A. Kings last night doubling up Utah 4-2. L.A. have also won 3 straight. Jets shutting out Vegas 4-0. Winnipeg matching a franchise record with its 52nd victory of the season. Flames 4-1 over the Ducks. Flames pull within 5 points of the Wild for that second wildcard spot. Blues remain red hot. They defeat the Penguins 5-4. St. Louis tying a franchise record with its 11th straight win. Cale Makar notching his 30th of the campaign. Avalanche all over Columbus 7-3. Habs drop the Bruins 4-1. Sens hold off the Lightning 2-1. And the Stars dump the Preds 5-1. Make it 7 straight wins for Dallas. Tonight, OV Watch continues as the Capitals host the Blackhawks. Wild visit the Islanders, and the Red Wings are at home to the Hurricanes. Opening round of the WHL playoffs continued tonight between the Oil Kings and Raiders. Game 5 from Prince Albert, 7 o'clock puck drop as Edmonton hold a 3-1 series lead. The 5-2 Toronto Blue Jays kick off a 9-game road trip this afternoon against the Mets. First pitch 110. Steph Curry, 37 points. Warriors knocked off the Lakers, 123-116. 10 games around the NBA later this evening. Over to curling, Canada improving to 9-1 yesterday with a pair of wins over China and Switzerland down at the World Men's Championships in Moose Jaw. The Brad Jacobs rink will play 2 more games before the playoffs later this afternoon at 2 against Austria and tonight at 7 against the USA. And Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris top the times for McLaren as 4 red flags, 2 caused by trackside grass fires, wreaked havoc with the second practice session for the Japanese Grand Prix earlier today. FP2 also saw Jack Doohan's Alpine slam into a wall. Join Dustin Nielson, Reed Wilkins, Trey and Tyrell Ford, and other special guests Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell & Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bids for Kids. presented by GS Construction. A live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. Tickets are limited. Find them today at www.kidsportbidsforkids.com.
There's something happening here. The Oilers look a lot better this year. Another win, put 2 points on the board. Telling me your faith is restored. I think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show. This year's team's looking strong. Connor and Leon, they can't do no wrong. 6 o'clockers are losing their minds. Getting so many messages on the text line. Think it's time you stop. Listen, here we go. Wake up with the morning after show.
6:35 with the Nielson Show, kicking off another full 12 hours of live broadcasting today here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Our new EST branded shirts available at all 780 locations.
Too sweet!
Southgate, Londonderry, St. Albert Center, Kingsway, and the Outlet Mall by the airport at all of those 780 locations at those malls. Swing on by and pick one up today or through the weekend. They come in the black with the yellow EST NWO sort of style.
The yellow and black of the
they
Wolfpack.
come in the blue and yellow as well. So go in, pick up one of each. I don't care. But we would appreciate the support. And I know Adora and the crew over at 780 would appreciate the support as well. The Nielsen Show today and every day brought to you by our partners at South Fort Chevrolet. Right now it's 0% financing OAC up to 72 months or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Check them out, www.southfortchev.com. And if you head on out there, tell them that EST sent you. You'll get an on-rim tire change for just $59.95 plus tax. They're also offering up pretty big discounts right now on an inspection when you do get your tires changed. So there's always lots cooking at South Fort Chev, and including that $8,000 cash back on a 2025 Silverado 1500 right now. All right, keep those text messages rolling in. People asking, are you hearing anything on Leon Draisaitl? All we know is what was said last night about Leon Draisaitl, and that is essentially that there is no update. But let's dive into the morning after show here this morning. The EST big moment that happened in this 3-2 victory on the road. Eric, what are you going with, buddy?
Well, the Draisaitl injury looms. I mean, that kind of hangs over the win.
Yeah. But which moment was it?
But, well, that's the thing, too. And if you go online, there were a few spills and thrills that Leon kind of went through last night. We all look at the stepping on the puck, I guess. And
that can't be how he gets hurt, right? Like, it looked like it, but you know how weird that is? Like, Leon Draisaitl,
yeah, but
probably the best player in the league all year, steps on a puck behind his net. Like, if he has to miss time, that's just...
You don't want to question a hockey player's toughness, but things do happen where it doesn't look like he got hit by a freight train.
So unfortunate, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I mean, but there are a couple of other incidents as well. I think Sportsnet had a bit of a reel of a few hits, a few collisions.
Looked like there could have been a couple of occasions where it happened.
And, you know, Leon's body language is tough to read at the best of times, I guess. But there were a few times where he kind of grimaced and would lumber back to the bench. Read into that as you will, but yeah, nothing yet. So that is the moment, I guess, that carries through the game.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, in the game though, under a minute left, Kelvin Pickard coming up huge, and as he has during this stretch, you can flush the Seattle game as we did last Friday. But it was like 40-some seconds left, and his lateral movement, which I know is talked about a lot when it comes to goaltending in this market. Coming up big and preserving. Because again, I joked yesterday, can you imagine if this thing goes to a shootout? We don't need extra time last night. That is one thing we don't need. clear it out in regulation, 3-2, whatever, 1 goal win, 50 goal win, whatever. But saving that and preserving and getting the 2 points in regulation, huge for us. Having to go to bed and wake up early, but Pickard, hell of a save, and
That kind of has to be the like outside of the Draisaitl conversation. That Pickard save has to be the moment.
yeah, Sharks wouldn't go away. I mean, full credit to them. It's 2-1 goal, and the last time the Oilers had to do it in overtime, so whatever. But it was a game where they couldn't put them away. Good on the depth scoring, but the Sharks hung around, and it kind of boiled down to that final save for Pickard. So, yeah, I'm going with that one under a minute left, the lateral movement.
If you are watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's keep smashing that one as we work our way towards Chris Johnston at 7 o'clock this morning. The super stat of the night. 931, 931, 931, 931. Yeah, 931.
How about this one?
Calvin Pickard.
28-1. 28-1. 20 wins, 8 losses, 1. So Pickard, again,
He's got 20 wins, 8 losses. Well, that's pretty good.
it just looks good. So good on him. And deputizing here, if you want to say that. Maybe you think it should be something more for Calvin Pickard, but
other possible super stats last night. Jeff Skinner, a goal and assist, +2, 3 shots, played just 13 and a half minutes. But managed to be pretty productive with that.
Bouchard another 2 assists.
And you know what? We got hosed on the parlay. The Leon injury killed us. Because the parlay yesterday was Draisaitl 2 points, Bouchard assist, Arvidsson point, and the Oilers to win by 2. If Leon doesn't leave that hockey game, I think we cover it. Because when you got like a little 3-man parlay and there's a goal in which you require an assist, and one of the guys does get the assist, and then we needed 2 points from Draisaitl. He got one, and we needed a point from Arvidsson. I was just like, that's a parlay clinching goal right there.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, Leon steps on a puck or jumps around somebody. Or even had that weird
slew-footed from Gaudreau, as a few people are saying.
Stepped around and then sort of fell awkwardly. Who knows? Hopefully it's whatever. It doesn't matter. They're playing the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. One way or the other. I don't care what the lineup is the rest of the regular season. It's the Oilers and Kings. Be healthy for game 1 of the playoffs. Like if Leon, it could be out with 2 games, but they're like, you know what? We're going to sit him for 4. Who cares? They're playing the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. It's not changing. It's not changing. Unless the Kings track down the Golden Knights.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it changes.
I'll take the Oilers I'll take the Oilers against the Golden Knights in the first round too, if they're healthy.
Yeah.
If they're healthy. All right, 3 stars of the game last night. We'll get to your 4-star right away from LTE. Jeff Skinner. My name is Jeff. Tyler Toffoli. And Thompson.
These 3.
Yeah, man. I mean, how can you take stars in the NHL seriously?
You can't. It's like the hit metric all over again now that we're kind of seeing, but it's Pickard for me. Going down to the moment in a tight 1-goal game. 3 straight 3-2 wins now for the Oilers in this little stretch since last Thursday, I guess, against Seattle. So, yeah, Pickard's my guy.
Stopped 27-29.
Yeah.
He was the winning goalie. Stopped 27-29, had 931 save percentage. And Jack Thompson's the 3rd star of the hockey game. Come on, San Jose. You're not fooling anybody. There might be more people in studio today than were at that game last night.
Christy Yamaguchi was there.
My God. How much, I don't know if anybody looked it up, but how much could you have gotten a ticket to sit in the lower bowl at that game last night? Because the lower bowl seats were, and they've got like the weird little lighting thing on the seats, so you can see all of the ones that were empty. That was an awful looking crowd last night.
I think I did see $16 for $18
for a lower bowl ticket.
I don't know what location. I mean, you should just get Sharks tickets for. I mean, it's just one of those.
Should just mercy the season. Like, just leave now, San Jose. That's a tough look. 38th star of the game last night. What did we look at for the 38th star of the game last night?
Thompson? No.
Carlson on their back end was -2. I guess. Even Romanov in the loss had a 921.
He had a good game.
He played pretty well for a guy who
got lit up by the Kings over the weekend.
Barely played in the National Hockey League. So, and bouncing back after getting spanked last time out. YouTube, Trev, what'd you think of this game? Here's the other question I want to ask everybody out there, and I want honest answers today. Did you stay up for the game? Not specifically you, Trev, but people who are watching right now, and listening right now, just be honest with your boys. We're going to be honest with you. Did you actually stay up after 11 o'clock to watch the finish of this game? I'll start. I was watching both the Lakers game and this game. Lakers games finished prior. Usually after a game, I'll pop on the post-game show. I'll tweet out a bunch to drive people over to the post-game show. Last night, I was standing up next to my TV with the remote in my hand for like the last 2 minutes of the hockey game. I was like, okay, let's go. The minute that game was over, it was click and off to bed. Now, when I got to bed, I laid in bed and watched like Good Will Hunting for an hour.
Well, you got
to
go to bed.
I mean, you had to be in bed. So I did stay up for the entire game. But what say you people? 780-218-9999. Trev, what'd you think of the game last night?
I watched the first 5 minutes of the third period in bed, and then I fell asleep.
So you did fall asleep.
I fell asleep watching the game.
Yeah,
understandable.
It wasn't a game that would keep you awake.
No, props to Hernan and Tommy staying up. That's that was tough. Having to talk about that one. Oh, I don't know. They got the 2 points. That's good. I'd like if they lost today was going to be absolute hell. Just of being able to, trying to salvage that and be like, it's okay. But they got those 4 points. We're talking about it. Is it okay? The Oilers go on the road here, get that 4 points. I think that's good enough for most. But they got those 4 points secured. So let's get 4 more. How about that? That would be really nice. I thought some players looked decent. I think Arvidsson's definitely feeling it. He's finally feeling it.
He's coming around a bit, right?
He's coming around. He's always had a really good shot, but I don't know. He was always fighting it. Receiving a puck is something that he struggled mightily in. Him and Jeff Skinner. So they're looking good, and the Oilers are going to need them to step up their game, which they are. I thought Jake Wallman had a pretty solid game. He had some decent looks as well. Pickard was he was awesome. All around, a solid game. No complaints from YouTube Trev.
From YouTube Trev, he's a happy boy today.
I'm happy.
Which is good to see.
Thank God.
780-218-9999. Rick, you said you haven't slept?
I stayed up all night. Top that.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Not only did I stay up for the game, I haven't slept.
And I might do it again tonight.
That's impressive.
Let's see. Let's get into some of your answers. Box Pounder says he made it 2 periods. Wizard Wonder said, hell no, it was a 10:30 start in Toronto.
Gager stayed up for Japanese Grand Prix FP.
So I text Gager last night during the game. I said, buddy, when is Japanese practice? And he goes, right now. I'm just like, oh my God. Saskatoon Muncher. No, I went to sleep after the second. Need to save those late nights for the upcoming playoff run. 8:52 starts.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Jen says, sure did. And I shared the postgame show on Discord. That's what I'm talking about, Jen. Jason and Leduc, I did stay up to finish the game, but that's only because my wife denied me sex halfway through the game and my anger fueled me. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not coming to bed at all then.
Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, like we said, be honest. Bergie texts in and says, guys, somehow I completely missed the game. I had a late work call. Oh, that's a tough one. Ryan from SK says, I poured myself a glass of red after I got all of them down, turned on the game, woke up midway through the third period with my glass in my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, he was single parenting the last 2 days.
Not spilled either.
That's the thing, man. He's single parenting the last 2 days. His wife went to California with a couple of friends. Happy to report all 3 kids are still alive. But as soon as he put him to bed last night, he pours himself a glass of red, sits down, wakes up. I'm surprised he wasn't like Will Ferrell in that scene in Ricky Buddy's like, I got the kids to bed. I mean, solo parenting, I don't have to do it very often, but like the odd time when like Tam even leaves for like 6 hours, she'll come back and I'll be like, I don't know where they are. Who are you?
You shaved that morning. You've already got like
I'm touching her face. And like, I can't. What's going on?
I think we have a winner though. Paul from The Rock texts in, watched the whole game in Newfoundland.
What?
I mean,
that game must have started at. Well,
it started
in Newfoundland
this morning, probably.
What is the Newfoundland thing where there's Eastern time?
That's 2,
and then is there another time and then Newfoundland
and
time?
then the half hour, I think. Yeah.
So that game started at midnight Newfoundland
Pretty
time.
much. And
this guy stayed up and he's texting now.
It was a Friday morning game for Paul from The Rock.
Paul from The Rock, you do win.
I mean,
Paul from The Rock is the most committed guy from the group today.
Put it on the map.
Holy smokes, Paul from The Rock. Good job. All right, should we crack some packs, boys? Hey, let's.
I think so. Eh?
Let's crack some packs this morning. Where we are? Here we go.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the
Crack pack, yeah, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today.
I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the crack pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money.
The crack pack is a little old gang where we can crack together. Crack pack, baby.
A crack pack, baby.
Crack pack, baby, crack pack. Crack pack, baby, crack
Crack pack, baby, crack pack.
Paul from the Rock, Foxtrap, Newfoundland. Of
course.
Started at midnight.
You don't even
I-
surprise me that you live in a town called Foxtrap.
Beauty.
Jeremy over in the Nasty Chat says, Oilers fan since the franchise started in the NHL. I watch all of the games, even when they start at 10:30 here in Florida. I did miss a lot of games though while I served 30 years in the Marine Corps from 88. Did I listen? We're going to give you the free pass, Jer. Jer, we're not going to blame you for having to miss games as you served in the Marines. I mean, could you watch the games during the Marines? Maybe.
In the mess hall.
But I think that we're still pretty impressed with your commitment.
Kind
Thank you for watching the show. Tell your friends. Hopefully they find it entertaining. All right, so we're going to crack some packs. Tomorrow is National Hockey Card Day. There's a ton going. I think Chase, the mascot's going to be out of Wayne's. There's a bunch of deals going on at
I can't wait
Wayne's.
to
You
get
get the
my tug on
National
the
Hockey
tail.
Card Day pack. The balloon pop's going to be going on. Are you going to tug Chase's tail? I was in there yesterday. For any of you official Crack Pack members over on Facebook, we're going McDavid Young Gun hunting this weekend. So be ready for that. I got 4 boxes of this year's Upper Deck Series 2, which is Celebrini and Mitchkov. And then I picked up a box of, it wasn't cheap, but I picked up a box of the Connor McDavid rookie year Upper Deck, and we're going to go Young Gun hunting.
You're helping out a bit too, blowing up a few balloons.
I did blow up a balloon there yesterday. But I blew it up way too big.
Oh, no.
So if you go in there on Saturday and you see one huge blue balloon, that one's mine. Like most of them are all those balloon machines are cool. Like you push down, it blows up, and then you tie it off. And anyway, my balloon was much bigger than all the other balloons. So get in there early, find my balloon. I don't know what the prize is. So there's a prize in all these balloons. I don't know what the prize was in my balloon, but it was fun to use one of those balloon machines. For the first time
Could have ended with a bang.
I picked up a blaster of Upper Deck Series 2 this year. Trev, look, so people are like, what's this? What's this? Well, this is a piece of technology that has never before been used by Edmonton Sports Soccer, maybe anybody on YouTube. This is the close-up cam that we're going to use to show you the cards. It was Trev who invented this.
Hope you're taking notes, Zach.
Trev, how did you come up? Yeah, I mean, Zach's got to get Zach together and do something like this. Trev, how did you come up with an idea like this?
Well, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now.
I knew it.
And it's a great idea. We've been talking about it. We want a card cam. Look at this. Look at that.
Eric.
LT, you're on camera.
Hey, I'm on there.
That's you.
Hi, everybody at home and everybody down at the plant.
See?
Yeah, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's great.
See, this is what...
This is why we should have this all the time.
This is why we did that. There's me.
Where are you,
That's
Trev?
me.
Where's Trev? Where's Trev over there? Hey, there's Trev. Look at him.
That's
There's
great.
Trev over there.
Yeah, so we wanted to do this for a while now, but...
What's up? Check out the new EST shirts. Hey, those are great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is why we're doing this. So this is the card cam, and we can move it around wherever.
So yeah, we
we'd
invented
like.
this. Yeah.
I can't wait till
So
our beer of
this
the week
is-
guest as well. They could
I
just-
rate his face.
My idea, and I'm happy to finally have that idea on the screen, the big screen.
Matt Hyman in the chat says, didn't Reed use a card cam a couple of weeks ago? Matt, I don't think that's possible because we just invented it.
No,
Yeah.
I did this first.
Don't need to
Trev.
spread rumors like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. All right, we got 4 packs of Upper Deck Series 2. Lieutenant Eric, pick one. Oh, that's a good one.
That was the one you...
Trev. All right. Oh, Trev. There better not be a Celebrini in there and the corners dinged up. Yeah. All right. So now we can open up our cards and then show it to the. Here's the pack. This is great.
Yeah.
This is what we always wanted right here. Hey. This is exciting times. I'm glad we invented this before anybody else. All right. Here we go. Upper Deck Series 2. So you want? I think there's one young gun in every blaster box. So one of us will get it, and you want it to be Mitchkov or Celebrini. That would be perfect.
Come on. Let's get a big hit here.
I have the Ooh La La of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
I just want to say this. I don't like
boys, this is neat, eh?
That's nice.
these diagonal cards. I'm not.
You love diagonal.
I
You don't
do
like them?
not.
Oh, okay.
No, not too much.
Will Smith UD Portraits.
Okay.
And I think this might be the Young Gun, boys. It's the Young Gun. Oh, crap. It's the Young Gun checklist of Celebrini and Mitchkov.
Okay, so
that's.
you got a halfer there.
I mean,
eh?
that's okay.
New Jersey Devils on tour. Heischer and Hughes.
I'm showing the card right now. This is too much
Oh,
fun.
I got a young gun. A Shark young gun.
Oh, Bardwell?
Devin Cooley.
Devin Cooley. Wow, so we got 2 Young Guns already. I thought we'd only get one. And look, this is a Celebrini on board.
Hey, that's not
That's
bad.
nice.
Ovechkin Dazzlers.
Wait, Trev,
Look at that.
don't do that, Trev.
Oh, God bless you.
Card cam, Trev.
Look at this. Look at that. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Andreas Athanasiou over here. Eh?
Glossy Philip Forsberg. That's not bad. We've got Electricity Matthew Barzell. That's kind of neat. Look at that. Yeah, I don't think no Young Gun though.
No Young Gun, though. Fun. I like having. All right. Put that back there.
And portable too. I mean, we could take
I
this
think we
puppy
should go
down the
show
hall.
the Tecmo machine.
Well, you could
Hey, let's turn on the lights. We'll go for a little tour.
Yeah.
You know what we'll do? We'll go for a
Awesome.
little tour here.
So happy I was able to do this for you guys.
Yeah, Trev. I mean, I can't believe this technology hadn't been invented prior to 2025.
Yeah. Well, we were waiting for that tripod. Finally got it. That's why.
Sebastian Aho glossy. These glossy ones. This must be just available in the blasters because I've opened up 2 cases of this stuff and I've not got any of those. Dylan Larkin retro Young Gun. On a heater, Lucas Raymond. Card Cam has changed the show, boys. We could have this set up every day.
I
and
think
just do
so.
fun
Yeah,
stuff. Like, do people want to see our kitchen?
Why not? Hey,
Hey,
Go for a walk.
should I go show them the fridge?
Yeah.
here.
All right. Well, let's go for a little tour.
Everyone
Let's go for a
at
little
home?
tour of EST offices here. Trev, is my mic on it?
Oh, I can unmute it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, let's see.
Well, this is interesting.
All right, we're going to take
there
a
you go.
tour
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
office here. Might even maybe widen the shot, Trev.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Let's take you on a tour of the office here.
Show him Maddie's office.
All right. Let me know if it's working, boys.
You're good.
Beautiful.
You're gold.
Here's the Tecmo. Here's the Tecmo machine. Tony Hawk Pro Skater going on there right now.
Or Hernan loses.
We're going to have the camera up there, and then we're going to stream off this computer. It's also set up so that we can watch on that TV so others can watch. This is Matthew Iwanik's office.
Throw something.
We can't show too much of Matty Iwanik's office.
Do something funny.
Do something.
Iwanik
Fart on his chair.
Iwanik will be pissed. All
Suplex.
right, and then let's take you into the, this is our kitchen. Here's our fridge.
Don't open. Don't open.
There's the fridge.
The den of
We got
sadness.
some, I don't know, 2 hoots.
Condiments in
There's
there.
Reed Wilkins Coke.
Yeah.
So
Zach sandwiches.
that's kind of inside look. I tell you, boys, card cam has become very valuable.
Take him down to
I like
Victor's.
this.
You know what? No, I don't want to go see Victor.
Bring it in the
There's
bag.
YouTube Trev's little
What's up?
work area here.
This is where the magic gets done.
Hey, behind the scenes at EST. Gotta love it. All right, we're good to go.
Yeah, it was an opposite. Everything was kind of opposite.
Was everything backwards?
But that's fine. It's
That's what this
you just got to
technology is
use
about.
use your imagination.
You can kill it, Trev. You can put us back up there, buddy. All right, so there you go. That's close-up cam.
Strummy says Dusty Witch Project.
Yeah.
kind of had that vibe.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
That was a lot of fun.
Took us a year and a half to pull that off, but Trev eventually invented the technology.
I'd like to say I can't believe it,
But
but I guess I can.
Yeah.
With
You're a smart guy.
Yeah.
This is why you went to Lethbridge College like me.
Yes. The smartest of the
Smartest,
people.
only the smartest people go to Polytechnic, Lethbridge, or whatever it is.
What can I say?
Let's see here. Johnny Alberta says this would be amazing on a virtual reality helmet. I think that would be good. Alabama guy says, what about the infamous toaster oven? You know what? We'll save that for the next tour around the office.
Oh, it's next week.
We'll do that. Wizard Wonder says, no lasagna in the fridge? Definitely not, because and there's also no dilly bars in the freezer.
No.
Because this guy
crushes
dilly bars.
Hernan now asks me every day, hey, any of those dilly bars left?
Yeah, but he's never gonna have one.
Well, now that they're gone.
Yeah,
it's
now it's like, I really wanted one of those dilly bars.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. We're 29 likes away from changing 200.
Wow.
If Tour of the Office can't change 200 here, what are we even doing? Why are we even here? Why do we exist? Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Let's change 200 before 7 o'clock.
A free tour. I mean, it's not every day you get to, like, you just gave the people a free time. That's very generous
Do you
of you.
realize the potential we have with this new technology?
Yeah.
Well done, Trev.
I do. Thank you.
Just changed the game.
I do what I can.
Rookie of the year, Esty, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I am the rookie of the year.
As a sophomore, he wins rookie of the year.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Keep the text messages flying in, 780-218-9999. It was cool to show behind the scenes. I'm so excited for the Tecmo regular season, guys.
And even we'll have to show the Whale of the Wolf boys next week.
Oh,
yeah, take him in there. That's a trip.
That would be something. Can you open it up? I'll have to do that one more. All right. A conch for everybody in the 6 o'clock hour, and a conch for Trev for inventing a camera that can be carried around.
Yes. You're welcome, Nasties.
Adam Banks over in the chat says, forgot to hit the thumbs up. The card count blew my mind. I'm on it, boys. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course you're on it. 18 likes away from changing 200. Second hour of the show, it's about to get serious. Chris Johnston's going to join us from Pro-Am Sports. Is tonight the night Ovi gets the job done? Got that brutal Chicago team in Washington, a hat trick in style. I've already sprinkled it at plus 1750 over at Coolbet. Dave Naylor's going to join us around 7:30. Just who is Stu Johnston? We're going to get into that a little bit. And then the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. What could a healthy Oilers team do come playoff time? Eh? Are you thinking about it a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, we've got Chris Johnston coming up on the other side of 7 o'clock. Let's get to a sports update for the fine folks at Nisku Glass.
Oilers hanging on to defeat the Sharks 3-2, make it 3 straight wins for Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl, though, an assist before leaving due to injury in the second period. No word yet on his status as the Oilers road trip will continue tomorrow afternoon in LA. The Kings last night doubling up Utah 4-2. LA have also won 3 straight. Jets shutting out Vegas 4-0. Winnipeg matching a franchise record with its 52nd win of the season. Flames 4-1 over the Ducks. Calgary pull within 5 points of the Wild in that second wild card spot as the Blues look to be tying down that first wild card position. They win for the 11th straight game in a 5-4 victory over Pittsburgh. Avalanche over Columbus 7-3. Cale Makar, his 30th goal of the campaign. Habs over the Bruins 4-1. Senators hold off the Lightning 2-1. And the Stars make it 7 wins in a row as they dump the Preds 5-1. Tonight, as Dusty mentioned, OV Watch continues when the Caps host Chicago. Elsewhere, Detroit are at home to Carolina, and Minnesota visit the Islanders. WHL playoffs, Oil Kings will look to advance to the second round tonight. They take a 3-1 series lead back into Prince Albert. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. The 5-2 Toronto Blue Jays embark on a 9-game road trip this afternoon against the Mets. First pitch, 1:10. Steph Curry at 37 points. Warriors knock off the Lakers 123-116. 10 games around the NBA tonight, including the Lakers at home to the Pelicans. Denver visiting the Warriors, and Houston at home to OKC. Canada improving to 9-1 yesterday at the World Men's Curling Championships in Moose Jaw with a pair of wins over China and Switzerland. The Brad Jacobs rink will finish up the round robin with a game against Austria at 2 this afternoon and the United States later tonight at 7. Formula One Japanese Grand Prix practice. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris topped the times for McLaren as 4 red flags, 2 caused by trackside grass fires, wreaked havoc. With the second session overnight, FP2 also saw Jack Doohan's Alpine slam into a wall. Ouch. If you've been thinking about new windows and doors, replacing those grimy sealed units, getting that torn-up screen repaired, or making sure your patio doors and windows are working properly, Nisku Glass is here to help. We can also get that chipped and cracked windshield changed and spruced up with a new set of wipers and water repellent coating. Call us today, get booked for a free estimate and assessment, and remember to mention EST to receive a 10% discount on all residential, commercial, and automotive glass purchases. We won't just meet your glass needs, we'll shatter them at Nisku Glass.
I think we're gonna be glad. I think it's today, yeah. Connor Brown scored last night. His dragon is slain. He's finally out the schneid. He's finally out the schneid. Connor Brown's off to the schneid. It's about time. He's had chances galore, 2-1s and breakaways, yeah. But he could never score, even strength of power play. He's finally out the schneid. He's finally out the schneid. Connor Brown's off at the schneid. It's about time.
Connor Brown goal song on a Friday morning. What a time to be alive. This is terrific stuff. Thank you very much for being here today. And hey, changing 200. Wow. That's a big show. 200. It's a big show today. People love a win over the San Jose Sharks. All of our Nielson Show songs brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade, and consign. A sport for every season with hockey equipment and skates ready to go year-round. A family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online at www.totemoutfitters.ca. That's 7430 99th Street or online at totemoutfitters.ca. Hour number 2 looks a little like this. We're going to dive into our Cool Bet Canada play of the day coming up around 7:25. Also, more details on Sunday night's poker tournament with Coolbet. We'll go there. Dave Naylor is going to join us from TSN to talk about the new commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Stu Johnston, and then the fan zone for fansfirst.ca coming up around 7:45. If the Oilers can get healthy come playoff time, what type of expectations do you have for them? 780-218-9999. Nielsen Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chevrolet. We're coming at you today, as we do every morning, from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studios, where they have that delicious value menu available for you every single day. We're going to discuss the Oilers. I'm not going to say a big win over the Sharks because they squeaked one out, but still an important win over the Sharks. Sure. For the Edmonton Oilers last night. It's all brought to you by Chris Johnston's going to join us, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Have Pro-Am custom frame that jersey you have in the closet or the photo that you still got kicking around in the box. Visit them in store to get started on your project. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. But they do some fine work with the custom framing of photos and jerseys. My entire basement is essentially framed by the Cookson boys over at Pro-Am Sports. All right, Chris Johnston slides in this morning. Chris, good morning. How you doing, sir? Happy Friday.
Loved hearing that Connor Brown goal song before coming on. Set the mood just right.
Yeah, that one was written by a listener about how many games in the season last year? Like 40? And he's like, when he scores finally, you have this off the Schneid song. Yeah. So it usually works because a Connor Brown off the Schneid song is good for a guy who scores like once every 20 games because every goal is like off the Schneid. So that was a big one last night. And actually, you know what, Chris? It's interesting, and we'll get to Draisaitl in a second here. But they beat the Sharks last night with goals from Brown, Arvidsson, and Skinner. And if this team is going to do something in the playoffs, those are the guys that they need to contribute every once in a while, correct? It was kind of something you could build on maybe last night.
Well, for sure. I mean, you look for any long playoff run, you're going to have to win a few games, not with the obvious guys. I mean, I remember Connor Brown scored a pretty good big goal last year in Florida during the Stanley Cup final too. And you're right, he doesn't score a lot of them, but your hope for any team that has the ambitions Edmonton does, that whether they're bottom sixers or in this case, some of them are moved into the top six because of all the injury situations, that some of those players can make a difference. And I mean, there's so many 2-1, 3-2 type of games in the playoffs. And so, if there's any silver lining to be found in this recent stretch, I think in Edmonton, it's getting these players more touches, more minutes, and then ultimately you hope they have a little bit more confidence because they get some production here down the stretch before the big test awaits.
I think we have to talk about Calvin Pickard. He's now 20 wins on the year,
28-1,
8 losses, and then 1 overtime shootout loss. Skinner has not been great this year. Struggled for the last couple of months before his injury. He's been out injured. He's not on the trip. He's not joining them on the trip. I think there's people in the market here who would say Pickard should be the number 1 anyway. But can Stuart Skinner lose his job while he's injured to Pickard if he continues to play well, do you think?
I think he can. It's such there's a difference. I mean, goaltending is such a specific job. Only one player obviously is playing at any given moment. And I do think there's an element of riding the hot hand with any team. Someone, Pat, I wish I remember who it was, but I think I saw that Calvin Pickard has the 3rd best goaltending statistics since the Four Nations break among any NHL goaltender. And so, as I said, I would like to credit whoever put that around it. If it's true, it kind of tells a story. I mean, I think you have to, think about that. And at least with the Oilers, I mean, they went to him last year in the playoffs. So it's not totally untrodden ground here. I don't know that Stuart Skinner will straight up lose the number 1 job, but I think Pickard's played well enough that you've now got a real decision that, if we go back in an alternate timescape, I don't think a lot of us would say that this was going to be a talking point, when we got into April. But credit to him for playing well in this spot. And I do think it's going to be an interesting set of decisions. And obviously, they don't just stop at game 1 of the playoffs. I mean, we're going to be reacting to, hey, they've won these 2. What do you do? Or maybe if it doesn't go one goalie's way. I mean, it just feels, probably more than ever the last couple of years in the NHL that a lot of teams consider both goalies more than they did, say, 10 years ago in the playoffs. I think that most teams need 2 goalies to win a cup. Not all of them. Vasilevsky played every second of those Tampa Cups, but by and large, I do think you need 2 players that are going to give you some games to go the whole way.
And just getting back, like that Connor Brown conversation earlier, a guy like Victor Arvidsson, really, I mean, we jokingly said during the first half before Christmas anyways, I mean, you might find his face on milk cartons and such. Or
he literally did nothing.
Driving behind a semi-truck. Have you seen this man? 13 goals since January 7th. He's got 5 in his last 10. I mean, this is a guy that when brought in had, I don't know, maybe... higher expectations than when Connor Brown was brought in after that injury as well a couple of years back. But him rounding into form at this time too might be the biggest one out of that forward group.
Well, and look, that's part of the thinking. I think when you sign someone like Victor Arvidsson, obviously he's played a lot of big games in the past. Specifically his time in Nashville, and he's such a competitive player. I know he's about my height. He's not a big guy, obviously, but he's pretty feisty, and he's not afraid, I think, to work his way to the tough areas of the ice and to score some ugly ones, to put it nicely. And so, he's obviously scored a lot over the course of a long NHL career, but I think you're making that signing last July thinking, hey, this is another player that can help us come the playoffs. And ultimately, we probably won't measure his season. I mean, he's turned around his season to such a degree, no one's probably calling it disappointment now, but you're going to measure it by what he can give you in the high leverage moments. And so, there's almost 2 types of players in the league. I feel like sometimes there's lots of guys that have had great regular seasons, never played a playoff game. As it turns out, Jeff Skinner has been one of them just because he hasn't played in the playoffs previously. But the players that can deliver for you under the ultimate pressure, I think is what you're really looking for. And I think Edmonton has reason to believe Arvidsson can be that type of guy for them that can contribute beyond the McDavid, Draisaitl kind of top six guys.
Hockey analyst Chris Johnston with us on the show this morning, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. It wasn't all great for the Oilers last night. They do come away with the 2 points in San Jose, but they do lose Leon Draisaitl, left the game. The Sportsnet broadcast last night couldn't really find that one moment when it was clear what happened. There was a couple of times he sort of was tied up a bit. He stepped on a puck when he was swooping in behind his own net. That kind of looked awkward. They don't have Connor McDavid right now. Frederick's getting close, expecting to play against Anaheim early next week. But for the Oilers right now, I mean, Vegas, maybe the Kings can track down Vegas. I don't think the Oilers are capable of tracking down the Golden Knights for top spot here. But priority number one for the Oil, be healthy going into the playoffs, meaning give some of these guys maybe a little bit of extra rest, or home ice against the Kings in the first round of the playoffs and try to push a little bit. How do you think they sort that out internally right now?
I think that they would prioritize health over the home ice, although, the home ice is important, especially if you get into a game 7, which I think, you can think is very possible this year. The Kings are a better team. They play very well structurally. Darcy Kemper's, been a nice fit for them in goal. You look for places to find an edge in a series like that. The Kings have played so well at the old Staples Center too this year. They've won a lot of home games. So, all those things work in LA's favor, that suggests, hey, maybe getting one more game in our barn is worth pushing for. But I do think ultimately you've got confidence with a team with as much experience as the Oilers do nowadays, and specifically those top guys, that they can win a tough one on the road. They can win 1-0 in LA if that's what it takes on a given night, and we've seen it before. And so, I think the health has to be the number one. But that being said, when you're this close, you want to put the pedal down. I mean, you got the game tomorrow afternoon, and then there's another game next week against LA. I mean, even just if you could somehow win both games head to head, you're in a much better spot. The Kings do have the tiebreaker, so you're gonna have to finish above them in terms of number of points. But it's one of those ones. I think health has to be number one when you're the Oilers, but it's like 1B, 1A, 1B, like the goaltenders around the league nowadays, to still try to push for home ice as long as it's as close as it is right now.
Jets with a bit of a statement win last night, I guess you could say, tying a franchise record 52nd win. They shut out Vegas 4-0. It's fascinating. And your thoughts on both races in the Central and the Pacific? You've got your leaders, but then you've got these annoying teams behind them just nipping and not quitting. I mean, the Dallas Stars win again last night, 7 straight. We talked earlier.
Colorado won.
Colorado, but the Jets seem to trip. They don't necessarily fall, though, when they do trip. Do you see any of the Stars or even the Kings right now, who are arguably maybe more healthy than the Golden Knights, getting some great goaltending? Do you see any of these second place kind of annoying teams right now tracking down the big dogs in any of those divisions?
Well, I think Dallas has to be the most annoying team in the league if you're living in Winnipeg, or even just looking at it, because the Jets have not been bad, right? Like they're not winning every game, but they're still somehow losing this ground, and it at least has to be in your mind that Dallas could surpass them. And I think that division, it's a different kind of conversation. If you're the Jets, you win the division, you at least avoid the Stars and Avalanche in round one.
Yeah.
Who knows what lies out there for you? You might end up still getting St. Louis, who's the hottest team in the league. So let's face it, there's not always a perfect playoff path for anyone, and you're going to have to beat good teams. But, I think in Winnipeg, you're right now in the President's Trophy position, and still somehow someone in your division just won't lose and is coming up behind you. So I think Dallas is probably the most annoying team going right now if you're in Winnipeg. And it actually underlines to me, I don't want to go on a rant because I could do this every single Friday with you guys, but I really hate this divisional playoff format. And this underlines it. I mean, there's a world here where Dallas finishes second overall in the league. It'll probably be third overall unless they pass Winnipeg, and still plays like the fifth or sixth best team in the league in round one with the way Colorado is. And then, that division's kind of upside down too, because the Blues have had such a charge here. So, I think we'd be better served with a 1 versus 8, but we got what we got. And, I think it's very important and imperative, in fact, for Winnipeg to do everything they can to stay atop the Central. They've been there for a long time now. And, I think even pushing for the President's Trophy, normally that could sometimes be a curse for teams, but I think, given how great the season has been for the Jets, that's a goal that they should have in mind here with the last 2 weeks remaining.
Arguably too bit of a poison pill finishing top in the Pacific right now, as it is.
Did you get St. Louis? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't want any part of the Blues. I have to say that. I think form heading into the playoffs does matter even more than points in the standings. I mean, Edmonton, to me, illustrated that last year. It was sort of 2 very different seasons when I'm talking about the regular season. And, they didn't finish at the top of the standings, but they won so many games in the second half. You knew that they were going to be a handful, and that wound up being true. And so, this is probably what makes the Stanley Cup playoffs so compelling. It would be hard for me. Like if you said, bet on your life, who's going to win the cup? Like I honestly have no idea. I think you can make a pretty good argument for 5, 6, 7 teams, maybe when you consider the Eastern Conference teams too. And, it's going to be pretty compelling first round, I think, especially.
CJ, before we let you go, I have a feeling by next time we chat with you, Ovechkin will probably be the all-time leading scorer. I've got a plus 1750 ticket for him to get a Hattie tonight against Chicago at home. So, I mean, fingers crossed he does it tonight. But what's I'm assuming Gretzky kind of be in tow here. Do they stop the game whenever he ends up doing it? Like, what's the process going to be like here? Because he's getting it done at some point.
Yeah, Gretzky is supposed to be in the building tonight. Obviously, the commissioner's there. Like the traveling party keeps growing. And then having it be a home game, there's going to be tons of Ovechkin's former teammates around, guys that live in the area. It's going to be quite an occasion. And I think the excitement in that market is built because they went on the road. He scored, a couple goals to get even closer, to at least set up the possibility it could happen at home. Chicago is the only team in the league that doesn't have a shutout this year. And probably no coincidence where they are in the standings. But, if there's ever a night where it sets up for maybe to get a hat trick, I could see this. And so, whether it happens tonight or it happens, one Sunday afternoon or one of the games next week for the Capitals, the game will be stopped at any point. Like he could score a 2-2 goal with 1 minute left in the third period, and it's against the Islanders, say, who are still mathematically alive, and they're going to stop the game for a good period of time to mark the occasion. And so, if you're the opposing team, I guess, and you don't like that, the argument would be don't allow them to score. Yeah. Don't let that goal happen. Because, looking back when Gretzky broke the record in March 94, they stopped the game for about 15 minutes. I'm not sure it'll be quite that long for Ovechkin. I think the league wants to try to, find the right balance between honoring the moment, but not disrupting entirely the game. But, it's going to be an on-ice ceremony. The commissioner will be there. I would think Gretzky will come out. And, this is a huge moment for the league. It's probably the biggest individual record that's going to fall since Gretzky did that, 30 plus years. And, as much as guys like Draisaitl and Austin Matthews, like in theory, you can make a case if they play another 10, 12 years at a high level, they could, challenge this record. I mean, the odds are unfortunately against them to do that. So, it might be another 30 years before we see anyone take a run at something so significant. So
yeah, we laid it out yesterday. Draisaitl would need 10 more 50-goal seasons.
Just
like nuts.
I mean, that's insane. The number that he's at is just absolutely brilliant. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be a very cool moment. Chris, enjoy your weekend, man, and we'll chat again next Friday.
Right on, boys. Have a good one.
There you go. That's CJ. Somebody said, Ducky over in the text line says, is Chris Johnston on the set of Sons of Anarchy? Because he's got that red, black plaid shirt. Kind of very Jax Tellerish.
Yeah.
With the beard.
You should have saw the table he was sitting at.
Big, heavy table. Does he ride a motorbike? Does Chris Johnston ride a motorbike? We're going to have to find out next week on the Nielsen show. So Ovi's got 3 chances to do this at home. They've got 3 home games left. They've got tonight against Chicago. And I mean, with the stage set and the Blackhawks being pathetic, like, could you not see it maybe happening tonight?
Bedard in the house.
Couple of power play goals. I mean, after that for Ovi, it goes Blackhawks. Then he's on the road against the Islanders. Then home against Carolina.
You can't do it in Columbus, can you?
Well, this is the thing.
When they fire the cannon for him.
To me, and you can go on Cool Bet and bet on which game he's going to do it in or which team he's going to do it against, I guess. We've kind of been on the Blue Jackets for a while because next weekend, home and home with Columbus.
Yeah.
But with that being said, now he's got 3 games before then, and he only needs 3. So,
or do you wait until that final game in Pittsburgh?
It's too risky at that point. Yeah. To me, if it's not done by the home and home with the Blue Jackets, it's getting done at the home and home with the Blue Jackets, and I would think probably the home game versus the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets hemorrhage goals. How many did they give up last night? 7. Like, there's no way Ovi's not scoring 3 goals in the next 5 games. I want him to get the hat trick tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks at home. Like,
would you like to be the goalie that this record is set on? I meant to, when I was driving home yesterday, I was like, damn it, that would have been a really good hire it or fire it.
Yeah, it kind of came up a little bit on hire or fire, or like somewhere on 2 guys yesterday.
Yeah.
I
think I'd like it.
I think I would like to be the goalie that he sets a record on.
My bad.
Yeah.
Well.
I like the goal, like Spencer Knight tonight is so obvious on it.
Yeah.
Like Ovi gets in on a breakaway and Spencer Knight's 5-hole, you could drive a Volkswagen Beetle through. Yeah. And Ovi just is like, boop.
He's got his legs.
Just wide open, like, come on, man, let's do it.
Throws his stick.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I'd love it.
Would a competitive NHL goalie want to be a part of that moment?
But what does it do? What does it do for, like, who is the goalie that Gretzky, like, broke it again?
Who was in net that night?
Just a bit of an exercise to, like, personally, it'd be cool. Your life, you'd be like, I was
every
the guy.
time the highlights, you'd be like, that was me.
That's
right
me.
there.
I'm the guy.
I remember I let him have that one. I let him have it. You know.
Yeah. You know what? I felt bad for him. Decided to let him have that one. Decided to let him have that one. Kirk McLean. Yeah, it was Kirk McLean. I thought it was Kirk McLean, but it was Kirk McLean. Marty McSorley throws it across. Kirk McLean fully overcommits to it. Like,
hey,
and I liked Kirk McLean as like a BC boy growing up, but this just goaltending. I mean, goaltending back then did suck. Like Kirk McLean,
wild.
Kirk McLean was so focused on Marty McSorley, he just really challenged him. And then Wayne Gretzky's got a wide open net to put it in. He scores the classic Selly. Yeah.
People are bringing in the Favre and Strahan thing. Where Favre laid down for Strahan for
Strahan to get the sack record.
And then who is that player that's mad at Favre for doing that?
This season.
It was like this year.
He confronted him at
a card show or something.
Who was the guy?
I can't remember, but yeah.
Somebody will have the name here.
Oh, damn. That was very recent.
Yeah, that whole thing went down. Yeah, this season they kind of bumped into each other. Yeah, that was kind of funny. All right, keep the text messages flying in here. 780-218-9999. Let's slide on over to Coolbet, where I think we kind of have to go for the hotline of the day today. Alexander Ovechkin is in the spotlight.
Ride with Dusty.
I'll also give you details on the Lock Shop Poker Series event. These have been an absolute hoot so far. I don't know if people use absolute hoot much anymore.
What is that?
You know, like it's a good time. Like, oh man, this was a hoot.
Oh, is just the
Trent,
phrase.
Does your generation use hoot?
I actually throw that one around.
Do you throw it out? Yeah, this has been a hoot.
This
is a hoot of a time. Yeah, I don't know. I still like to say hoot. Anyway, these poker events have been awesome. The next one will be 7:00 Sunday night. I will be streaming at 7:00 Edmonton time. A lot of our Winnipeg WSTers.
Gastineau.
8:00. Is that who you got it?
Tom Dixon's mustache.
There you go. But yeah, make plans to join us. The buy-in's like $30. Take about 3.5 hours. If you're going to make a run to win the entire thing, you can rebuy back in. A lot of guys do. I think in that last tournament, in which I did final table it, that's what they say, I think, in the business. I finished 5th. I think 7 of the final table folks had done a rebuy. They were in for a second or third time. So don't be shy. It's a fun time. I'll be streaming it. It's on the CoolBet poker software. So go to coolbet.com, download the poker software. You can play. You can also just play on your phone in the browser as well. I just recently learned that. But that should be pretty good. As for the hotline tonight, Alexander, oh man, Ovechkin to score tonight is minus 149. Like they are 100% expecting this guy to bury one tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. Over 2.5 goals, plus 275. And also the other day, I got Ovi to break it against Chicago at plus 1750. It's at plus 2,000 right now. So if you bet $5 on Ovi to get a hat trick tonight, you would win $100. This is the most ballsy play of the day ever, but I'm gonna say it. Let's ride with Alexander Ovechkin to get the Hattie tonight.
Why not?
Listen, if you're listening here this morning and it happens tonight and you're not on it with me, you're going to be like, I can't believe I passed up that opportunity. So, like I said, $5 turns into $105. Friday night at home. Gretzky's in the house. The commish bobbleheading, he's there. He's ready to go. Why not? This is actually a better number than I got it locked in, and I'm probably going to reload on this. Alexander Ovechkin, a hat trick tonight, plus 2,000. That's 20-1. Imagine if he buries one early. Like the sweat will be on. You're like, it's going to happen. Or if he gets 2 and then there's an empty net and we're sitting here with a 20-1 ticket on OV tonight. Can you believe Alexander Ovechkin's going to pass Wayne Gretzky?
Tonight?
A Wayne Gretzky record falls. We got into it on 2 guys a little bit yesterday. Connor McDavid, because Gretzky's, 2,870-some points or whatever it is, a ridiculous number, just shy of 2,900 career points. Connor McDavid would need to have 16 more 110-point seasons to try to track down Wayne's all-time points record. How ridiculous is that? He's already played 10 bloody years. He'd have to play 16 more seasons and get 110 points per season to track down Wayne Gretzky's all-time point record. Nobody's ever touching it. I didn't think anybody was ever going to touch the goal-scoring record, but here we are about to witness history. And hey, let's try to cash on it.
Maddie Hyman wants you to parlay with something else.
What are we doing here? You don't need to parlay at 20. Can you imagine going, you know what?
Jays win.
I'm on Ovechkin, 20-1.
Can you imagine?
And a Toronto Blue Jays win because they've been red hot. And there's no way the Blue Jays are going to lose to the Mets as plus 113 underdogs. And then it's the Jays that cost us the parlay.
They fall this afternoon, ruins the whole thing. Ovi goes on to get the...
Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
If you did want to parlay, now I have to do it a little bit. I'd have bet it right now. If you did parlay an Ovechkin hat trick and the Blue Jays winning, a $5 bet becomes $218. And I'm going to lock that in right now.
Spency 5 cents, he says, I might go the other way and say Ovi doesn't score tonight.
You're the worst. Spency 5 cents, he might be that guy. What's the saying? You're not that guy, bud.
You're not that guy.
Oh, you're not that guy, pal?
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
Big neck.
That's you, Spency 5 cents. All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. What are we looking at? 227. Let's hammer through 300. No doubt 300 show by 8 o'clock this morning. Simple as that. There's tons of you watching right now. Hammer the thumbs up for us on YouTube. If you are listening over on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, slide on over to YouTube. Give us a little thumbs up. Maybe sub if you haven't already. And then go back about your day. But yeah, hammer the thumbs up for us if you're watching over on YouTube today. We were at 200 by 7 o'clock. I mean, 6 o'clockers are great, but are they that great?
Standing pace.
Like, let's go. Hammer the thumbs up. Don't let that pace slip. And ride with us on an OV hat trick tonight at 20-1 with our partners over at CoolBet, where I once again will say, stay cool, bet responsibly, but also join us for the poker tournament on Sunday night. On the way next, just who is Stuart Johnston? We're going to get into this with Dave Naylor, CFL Insight. You know what? Dave didn't tell me to text him a reminder. Usually I text him a reminder, but he didn't tell me to text him a reminder.
He loves the reminder, yeah. He's a reminder guy.
We'll see. He'll be good to go. He's going to join us around 7:35. Then we're going to get into the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. Has Stuart Skinner lost his job to see picks? We'll find out. We'll see what the fan base is thinking. We should probably put up a poll once we get to that segment.
Olivier who?
Jeez. Naylor's on the way next. Priorities, expectations for the new commissioner of the Canadian Football League. That is coming up. Eric's got a sports update right now for the great staff at Park Mazda.
Oilers hanging on to defeat the Sharks 3-2, make it 3 straight wins for Edmonton as their road trip will continue tomorrow afternoon in L.A. Leon Draisaitl, the story of the evening. He had an assist before leaving due to injury in the second. No word yet on his status. Kelvin Pickard, 27 saves on 29 shots faced. Kings, meanwhile, they've also won 3 straight following a 4-2 doubling up of Utah last night. The Jets, 52nd win of the campaign. They shut out Vegas 4-0. Flames 4-1 over the Ducks as Calgary now are within 5 points of the Wild for that second wild card spot. St. Louis occupying that first one as they tie a franchise record. 11 straight wins. Blues 5-4 over the Penguins. Avalanche all over Columbus 7-3. Cale Makar scoring his 30th of the campaign. Habs and Senators both picking up wins last night as well to stay in that Eastern wildcard race. And the Stars, who dumped the Preds 5-1, make it 7 straight wins for Dallas, who continue to pressure the Jets for tops in the Central. Tonight, 3 games. OV Watch continues. Washington are at home to the Blackhawks. Carolina visit Detroit, and the Islanders host the Wild. The Edmonton Oil Kings back on the ice tonight. Game 5 of their opening round series with the Raiders from Prince Albert. Puck drop at 7 as the Oil Kings sport a 3-1 series lead. The 5-2 AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays Begin a 9-game road trip this afternoon against the Mets. First pitch, 1:10. 10 games around the NBA later tonight. The Lakers are at home to the Pelicans. Houston entertain OKC, and Denver on the road against the Warriors. Last night, Warriors picking up a win, 123-116 over the Lakers. Canada improving to 9-1 yesterday at the World Men's Curling Championships in Moose Jaw with a pair of wins over China and Switzerland. The Brad Jacobs rink will wrap up the round robin later today, 2 o'clock this afternoon against Austria, and later tonight at 7 against the USA. Japanese Grand Prix practice overnight. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris topping the times for McLaren. 4 red flags, 2 caused by trackside grass fires, would dominate the affair, as FP2 also saw Jack Doohan's Alpine slam into a wall. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where every time a car is sold at the dealership, he celebrates like John Morant.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid, about 75 pounds on the basketball court against the neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center.
I call you when I need you, my heart's on fire.
When it was all said and done, he was a little upset, so he punched me in the mouth.
You come to me, wild and wild.
My uncles were over on the side, observing, talking amongst themselves, adult things.
When you come to me,
when he punched me in my mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. And you know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back and he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needed Big Brother to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eyes and I said, my uncle's not going to help me. And I punched him in the face. Then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do?
you're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. Stuck in your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tell us about
Oh, Whale the Wolf, Cavis Reed, Pump Up Song Remix. Does it win an Esty? Find out at the Esties. That's where you'll find out most of those things. Esties 2 is going to be great. I cannot wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Totem Outdoor Outfitters. All of our Nielsen Show songs brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade and consign. Sport for every season with hockey equipment and skates, obviously ready to go year-round because this is Canada. Family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online at www.totemoutfitters.ca. The Nielsen Show brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Ford Chevron right now. 0% financing OAC up to 72 months or save up to $8,000 on a 2025 Silverado 1500. That's a nice truck. The Fan Zone for Fans First on the way in about 15 minutes time. We had the Ford brothers on yesterday, kind of a CFL segment, and obviously the news on the new commish broke at the end of the show on Wednesday. So I've been waiting to get this guy on.
Threw my weekly rankings of power for a loop.
Totally threw him for a loop. Instead, you had to rank cereals that day.
Didn't have him in the top 10. Tell you about that though.
What's that for commission?
It was the Ralph report from the evening earlier,
from
and here
the
we
night
are.
Before, yeah. We've got Dave Naylor, football insider with TSN. He joins us on the show this morning. Let's bring in Dave
Where
Naylor
is he?
today.
Where is he at?
Yeah, Dave Naylor, are you somewhere around the world right now in one of your various condos, or where are you right now?
You know what? I am at home, and for the first time in probably 10 months, I don't even have a ticket booked anywhere. Personally, nothing. I have nothing on my agenda. I'll tell you who I did run into last night, though, was Chris Morris. I was emceeing the University of Toronto football gala last night, and Chris was the kind of keynote guest. And well, he gave a great speech where he went to school, of course. I actually remember Chris Morris as a university football player. How long I've been around, but anyway, no, I had a good chance to chat with him last night, and as I say, he gave a great address. It was really great to hear.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because we were talking around the office yesterday, and one of our guys, Jay, in the afternoons, had been texting with Chris, and he goes, "Yeah, Chris said he's going out to Toronto," and then he'll get back to us. And I was like, "I wonder what he's doing in Toronto." And then, sure enough, Dave Naylor tells us the very next day. You're always in the loop, Naylor. It's great.
Yeah, guys.
All right, so Stu Johnston leaves TSN to take over as the commissioner of the Canadian Football League. When did you start to hear his name come up, or did it kind of catch a few people off guard?
You know, it caught a lot of people off guard. And the whole process, I got to say, was pretty locked down. You know, there was not like a lot of, buzz about this. And people kept asking me, who are the names you're hearing? We weren't hearing names. I mean, there were speculative names, and I would say Stu's name fell into that category. But I mean, even being out at the combine or the league meetings, and it was one of those stories. I wouldn't say we went after like huge, but it was one of those ones in every conversation you had with the CFL person. What are you hearing? And then we kind of at a certain point just got more interested in the timing than the who, right? And we kind of the timing we all heard kind of mid-April, and I believe that was the planning for the announcement on Stu Johnston before the story was broken by CP reporter Dan Ralph. And I mean, the league basically had three choices after that happened. They could deny it, they could ignore it, or they could confirm it. And they confirmed it. Yeah. And so ultimately that's why this came about. So, I would say pleasantly surprised, and not surprised in the idea that really you think Stu Johnston could be commissioner, more in the way of that he would leave his job. And from what I understand, Dustin, this isn't the first time the league has taken a run at Stu Johnston. So whatever was not right in the timing in the past was right this time around.
It's pretty exciting, Dave, too. I mean, I was going to ask you, what are his negatives? Because everybody online, everywhere is just saying good things about this guy, whether they've worked at TSN or whatever. 15th commissioner in the league, taking over April 24th officially from Randy Ambrosie. And we kind of talked to yesterday, like, is this, in terms of going from one commissioner to another, and with all the good stuff talked about him and everything, is he inheriting like the CFL at the best time? And in terms of commissioner changes, is this the best inheritance that a guy is kind of walking into, with the stability of the ownership, the salary cap, TV numbers, and all these things?
You said the word stability, and really I think that comes down to ownership, right? When you look at 7 private owners now, 2 community-owned teams, there's not a fire to put out in the league. And unfortunately, in the history of commissioners, there's been, I used to joke that you take the job, they hand you a fireman's hat and a hose. Right? That's the job. And it kind of was for Randy Ambrosie because of the pandemic, right? Like he spent 2-3 years putting out fires just on that. And I look, and I know, we've talked before about things Randy Ambrosie did well, things he could have done better, measurements and all that. Ultimately, I think his legacy will be seeing Bob Wetnall and David Braley leave the league and be replaced by Pierre-Carl Palladot and Amar Doman. I mean, and that's as important as anything any commissioner does, is the transition of ownership. But that's not something that's going to be on Stu Johnston's radar. You're right. I mean, the tweets that you see from on-air people at TSN about Stu Johnston, that is the way he is held at TSN. I mean, really, I've used the term sort of universally respected. And, just from a personal perspective, this is just personal, I think I go back to, when TSN originally didn't get the NHL rights, and the mood at the, when you walked in the building that day. I flew back from Saskatchewan from the Grey Cup. I was hosting radio 4 to 7 at that time. I had stayed an extra day in Regina, got up Tuesday morning at 4 in the morning, flew across the country, walked into my studio, and my first guest that day at 4:05 was Stu Johnston. That was about a day in radio. But again, and this is just my perspective, I just looked at the way he led TSN from that day forward. Nobody's head was down. Nobody was, that mood lifted very quickly, and I think the way the company, the way TSN as a broadcaster has diversified and thrived since that time, for me personally, was a real kind of measure of Stu Johnston's leadership. And that's just my personal perspective. But I think if you talk to people, leadership, decision-making, just a smart guy who's not afraid of hard decisions. And, this wouldn't be the first thing people would say about him. But Dustin, you've been to the FRC breakfast, I assume, on Sunday morning of Great Guy. Stu Johnston always delivers a short address at the FRC breakfast because TSN is the sponsor of the FRC suite, and we're all very grateful for that. And Stu shows up every year. He always drops a couple zingers from the podium, like every year. I mean, he's a funny guy as well. Like that wouldn't be the first thing. Very dry sense of humor, but he's not. He has a lot of personality as well. Now, all of that said, that's not why the CFL hired him. That's just who he is. The CFL hired him, and let's go back to Grey Cup. Farhan Lalji and I were asking everybody we could, what's the league looking for in its next commissioner? And the one thing we heard more than anything else was somebody who is absolute finger on the pulse of where broadcasting in this country is and where it's going. Well, that would be Stu Johnston.
Yeah.
And then you throw in that he ran, besides being president of TSN, he ran sales and business partnerships for Bell Media. Well, that might come in handy in the CFL when you think of the experience that brings, the relationships that brings, corporate Canada. He was on the board of MLSE, I believe, representing Bell. I mean, all the people in this country in sports and corporate Canada, he's familiar with. He knows them. And then the other thing, and I think this is important, the CFL has traditionally hired its commissioners from sort of other business silos. Whether somebody was in sports marketing and somewhere else, or marketing for equipment, or Randy Ambrosi was a Bay Street guy. Larry Smith was in baked goods. I mean, I could go through every commissioner and probably give you a pretty good run of what they were doing before they became commissioner. None of them were working around or in the business of Canadian football. Where you think of other leagues, name a commissioner, and they pretty much came up in that sport or had another job within that sport.
Yeah.
Stu has never worked for the CFL, but of course he's worked with the CFL. He's been in their boardrooms. He knows their board of governors. He knows the personalities in the office. He understands the challenges, the opportunities, everything, the nuances. And so I spoke to him briefly the other day before the announcement came out, and it was one of the things I chimed at him. I said, "You're going to walk through the door, way more familiar with this league and how it runs and all the dynamics than anybody who's at that job in the time that I've been doing." And I think on his resume, he's the most seasoned sports executive who's had this job. And by seasoned, I mean he's 54. He's 3 years younger than I am. So. Yeah, I am on board with the people who say this is a home run hire.
Yeah, he just checks a lot of boxes. It seems like probably the best that they were going to get. And I don't know how you could have got somebody that sort of fits the bill a little bit more. Now, you did mention the TV deal will be big. He's a guy who comes from the other side of it, so he would have a good read on what needs to happen there. Outside of that, what do you think's next on the to-do list?
Well, I can think immediately, the commissioner's job, the other thing that people kept saying to us in Vancouver is generate revenue, bring revenue in. Well, again, that's a lot of what Stu's done in Bell Media. So I assume that he'll be hitting the ground running doing that. The other questions, Stuart isn't going to do media until his formal introduction, which I believe is maybe a little less than 2 weeks' time. So, questions like, things that Randy worked on, where do those sit? Which is now a lot of things that he may or may not want to do or have ideas about are going to be impossible to do for 4 or 5 years because of the CBA, right? We're still early in a long-term CBA. So those things are going to be status quo unless, the union wants to crack open some things, and probably not. And I have no reason to believe any of that's going to happen. But I think, certainly one that ate up a lot of Randy Ambrosi's time and energy, expansion. Is that on Stu Johnston's agenda? And if it is expansion, is he interested in expansion within Canada, or is he interested in considering expansion beyond Canadian borders? Those would be a couple of critical questions in terms of what's on the to-do list. The product doesn't need fixing; the business model does. And, as much as we look at the stability of the league and the product and the television ratings, all that, this is still a league where, we're pretty certain the majority of teams lose money. And that's ultimately been not a forever problem, but it's been a consistent problem, over the last 30, 40 years. And, Stu Johnston, like everybody else, will try and do his best to help the teams become profitable. I also think, the Toronto market, like he's not the president of the Toronto Argonauts. He's the commissioner of the Canadian Football League. But again, having as much experience in the Toronto market, in the corporate capital of Canada, I don't think that can be bad news for the Toronto Argonauts either.
Well, it's exciting times. I can't wait to start putting together a top 50 list. So as soon as you want to get going on that, we're excited for the season, man.
Yeah, no, every year I say I'm going to do mine after the Grey Cup, just so that I have it done while it's all familiar in my head. Because I honestly get to this point of the year and we do those ballots, I'm like, did he have a good year last year? Or was that 2 years ago?
I know. There's a ton of research that goes into those things, but it's a good time for sure. Dave, as always, man, we really appreciate it. Good catching up with you.
Hey, thanks a lot.
There you go. That's Dave Naylor from TSN, Football Insider, covering, a bunch of different levels. We could have talked some NFL draft with him as well, but maybe we'll get him back. Some CFL drafts coming up too.
Just now, Balgoni wants to press on the full season fantasy question. Lacombe Drew, the CFL is moving from stability to stability.
Oh, wow. I'm kind of a creative. Because his name's Stu.
Yeah, Stewart and
from stability to stability. That's good. Whether our show has him on or Reed's show has him on, we will talk to Stu Johnston about CFL season-long fantasy. Because
full court press.
Let's go. It's time.
He gets it, though. He'll get it.
Yeah.
He seems like the type of guy who'll get it.
It's time, Stu.
Yeah.
That makes you think. I love that movie Spotlight. And Ruffalo in there goes, "It's time, Robbie." That's what it is. It's time now. Let's go. All right, let's get into the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, not a fee in sight.
Blues Wednesday.
Well, now with Holloway banged up, are we not going to get the Holloway Draisaitl head-to-head that we were all hoping for? Fan zone. By fans, for fans, no fees. If you're looking to get into an Oilers game at the best possible rate, best price, telling you you're not going to find a better price, then Fans First. Check them out, www.fansfirst.ca. All right, here's a question. It kind of sort of just popped up during the conversation with Chris Johnston. And I think I know where Oil Fan is at right now. I could be wrong. But I'll just, and Trev, I'm going to ask you this, and if you want to chime in, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or over in the Nasty Chat. And if you're watching on YouTube today, how about changing 300 by 8 o'clock? What are we at? We need 27 more.
Yeah.
Hammer, 27 thumbs up in the next 9 minutes, and we can change 300 before 8 o'clock, which could possibly put us on a 400-like pace. We'll find out. Has Stuart Skinner lost the number one job to Calvin Pickard?
Some would say he never had it.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's answer this question legitimately here. 780-218-9999. Has Stuart Skinner lost the number one job to Calvin Pickard? I think I know where I settle in on this, but I want to find out where others do. So 780-218-9999, or hit us up over in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. YouTube Trev. Would you go as far as to say Pickard has stolen the number one job from Stuart Skinner while Skinner has been injured? Is he getting Wally pipped here, right? Is that not the line? I believe it was Wally pipped.
First a hoot and then a...
No, I'm hooting with Wally pips today. It's a Friday. Hammer the thumbs up. Trev, what do you say?
It's interesting because I don't think so. I really...
In your mind, or you don't think Knobloch is going to go there?
Yeah, in my mind, I don't think Chris Knobloch is going to go there. I don't think they're going to go that route.
Would you go that route?
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm just looking at those last 10 starts and 972 save percentage. 960.
960.
967. 949. Like, he's averaged 912 save percentage in his last 10 starts. Like, if Stuart Skinner is doing that, like, Calvin Pickard's getting no time in the crease.
Yeah.
But
if Stuart Skinner's rolling a 912 over his last 10 starts, we're talking Stanley Cup.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And so the fact that Calvin Pickard's doing it, there's still that narrative that he's a backup goalie, and he's a good backup goalie, but because he's a backup goalie, he can't be the starter. It's like he's playing really good, and he's putting up better than, he's putting up starting numbers right now. So in my mind, I think he should be the starter going forward. His plays showed that. The numbers back that up, but the coaching staff seems to I've always had a soft spot for Stuart Skinner. You know, he battles. He's a competitor. He'll be in. He'll be okay. And so,
Mustache,
I don't know.
too.
Great mustache as well. That helps with him. So, yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts, but I don't think, personally, I think it should be Calvin Pickard going forward.
I think what's happened here is that it's a split now. Like if Skinner comes back and doesn't look good, well, then it's just Pickard's net.
Yeah.
You know, like I think you can get to the point where Skinner has played poorly enough that if he comes back and is allowing 3 goals per game and is bringing in an 885 save percentage, why would you not be comfortable going to Pickard with what he's done so far this year, right? So I'm with Trev on, I think as soon as Skinner's back, Knobloch will go back to it. I understand that from Knobloch's perspective, but Pickard has been better this year. And if you're the Oilers right now, you have to go come playoff time with a goaltender that gives you the best chance to win. And if Stuart Skinner's play has not backed up that statement this year, I think Pickard has played well enough, as awkward as he looks at times.
Don't matter.
Even that great save he made late last night, his body was all sort of crumpled up, but he got in front of it. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you know, if they go to Pickard, they'll win the Stanley Cup, because I don't think they're that team this year anyway. But I do think.
But neither one of these
think
guys.
that they should go with whoever's playing better now. Which
neither one of them alone, though, is going to get you there.
No, you're going to need both.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to need both. But I think you just go with the guy who's playing better at this point. And I don't know if they'll do that, but that's probably where I wouldn't say, Skinner, you're the backup now. I would say, you know, if you play well, Pickard, you get to start the next game. Whereas in the past, if Pickard played well, it doesn't matter. The net's going back to Stuart Skinner. I think that conversation should probably have shifted a little bit here, which isn't taking it too far. That's just reasonable. Your thoughts, the Fan Zone, 780-218-9999. Let's get into some of these texts. Colin the Amishman, who we met yesterday. Colin the Amishman, were you still here, Trev, when Colin the Amishman? You would have been gone, I think. I think it was like, it must have been around 1:15 he came in.
Did he show up in his 15-passenger van?
No, but he's like, do you want me to help build that barn over in the... it was weird because he came in. I said, you don't look very Amish. He was wearing like a really nice suit. I mean, I don't know.
Well, doesn't that
slang
go
the way
against
Amish people, but he wasn't dressed
yeah.
like an Amish person.
Didn't have the big chin strap.
But you know, he had a nice, thick red beard.
I
said, so what's the deal? Like, why do you call yourself Colin the Amishman? He goes, well, it was a nickname when I played football in high school. Which makes sense, I guess.
I like it.
Because you know why, actually? He couldn't grow a mustache. So he sort of just had this beard, right? And then
wore a nice big broad hat.
Yeah. Anyway, Colin the Amishman. Thanks for the butter you did drop off yesterday.
Butter.
I don't think Skinner has lost the number one job, but the amount of rope he has if he stumbles has been severely shortened. Hampton Steve this morning says Skinner has not lost the number one job to Pickard, but the leash in the playoffs should be much shorter. Somebody said, look what a bump on the head did to Nurse. Maybe it'll do the same.
Well,
for
competition does breed success as well, and Skinner's watching all of this. I mean, maybe this now, you know, 2 goalies trying to outduel each other and making each other play better. I mean, you know, one of those things, right? Rip City Steps got a good one too. I will not answer that question legitimately. The Fan Zone.
No, I said you had to answer it legitimately. My good, I will continue to swear, Dustin.
Yeah.
I will continue to swear, Dustin.
Bones is in and says Pickard saves like Roger Dorn knocks down grounders. The Fan Zone. Saskatoon Muncher. Nom, 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 nom. The fact that this is a conversation says a lot. I still think it's Skinner's job, but his future with the Oilers rides on this playoff run. If it's anything under 900, there will be a new Tendy next season. Deaky Sparks says, play who is ever hot. Grumpy Cat says, OMG in caps. Anyone who thinks Calvin is the new number one needs to share the drugs they're taking. Anthony says, I do think Pickard has better battle in his game, but I think Skinner is their guy. Maybe they do go true tandem come playoff time. So lots of good reaction here in the Fan Zone. What about over on the Nasty Chat? Where are we at here? Jimmy Onishi says an 894 save percentage will get you knocked out in the first round. Strummy says, summer right now, Jack Campbell is smirking. The Doc says Pickard is entering his Dwayne Rollison era at the perfect time. So we'll see. We'll see how it sorts it out. Northside Sandwich says Skinner has a higher ceiling, which he showed during most of the playoffs last year. I think it'll be maybe a little bit more of a two-man push this year in the playoffs between the two goalies. Because if Skinner plays like he's played the last 2 months, how can you go to that guy every single game in a series?
To hell with labels and terminology.
Yeah.
Just
you play the goalie that's playing better.
They have two goalies. Go with the hot hand.
Your disrespect of Ollie Rodrigue astounds me. It astounds me.
You were hoping for that Rodrigue Romanov duel last night, hey? That's what we all wanted.
That's the one we wanted.
That's what we all wanted.
That's the one we wanted. But instead, Pickard picks up his 20th win of the season. All right. Let's get into the 8 o'clock hour. We've got kind of easy trivia. We've got 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. We've got tickets to the Bids for Kids event that we are going to give away as well. So be ready for that.
And we've got 300.
Changing 300.
We got it.
Oh, let's go.
Changing 100.
You guys, is there a Friday 400 show lurking here?
Too sweet.
Oh, too sweet indeed. That's good. Coming up around 8:30. Our partners at Alleycat are actually in for Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. Lachlan's going to be back. Marmot Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff, also to come. If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, and who doesn't want to win a gift certificate on a Friday to Mr. Mike's, treat yourself for somebody you love over the weekend.
Or stake your claim.
Stake your claim today.
Stake your claim.
If you want to play kind of easy trivia, stake your claim on the contest right now. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Let Trev know you'd like to play. One of you will be picked, and you will play kind of easy trivia. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. And if you are watching over there, if you're listening, our new shirts are now available at 780. It's a play on the old NWO. It's an EST shirt. And this is the first time ever you've been able to go into a store and buy some EST swag. Our official Edmonton Sports Talk logoed swag from the Hive, still available through Matty Iwanek. Email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com if you're looking for the EST hats or the EST hoodies. But the new EST line at 780 is available in stores today.
Bat has arrived and it's here to stay.
The very first time. Is that another event? You know all the things about the old NWO.
I was obsessed.
Southgate, Londonderry, St. Albert Center, Kingsway Mall, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. If you want to grab one of these t-shirts, they come in black, they come in blue. And for the first time in the history of Edmonton Sports Talk, and it's a young history, but you can actually go into a store and buy one of our shirts.
How many of those locations do you think I could get to today if I play?
You're going to try to hit them all.
I'm gonna touch them all,
Touch
Joe.
them all, Joe. Yeah, exactly. All right. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's get to a sports update for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Leduc's not far from 780 at the mall. Yeah. Hey, Windsor Leduc.
Get the shirt, get the wood.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that.
The Oilers hanging on to defeat the Sharks 3-2, making it 3 straight wins for Edmonton, all by the score of 3-2. Calvin Pickard, 27 saves, 29 shots faced. Story of the evening, though, Leon Draisaitl leaving the game in the second. He would not return. No word yet on his status as the Oilers' 4-game trip continues tomorrow afternoon in L.A. The Kings, they would double up Utah 4-2 last night. L.A. have also won 3 in a row. Eric Comrie gets the shutout as the Jets blank Vegas 4-0. Winnipeg matching a franchise record with its 52nd win. Flames 4-1 over the Ducks. Calgary pull within 5 points of the Wild for wild card spot 2. Blues nailing down wild card spot 1. They pick up their franchise tying 11th straight win in a 5-4 win over the Penguins. Avalanche all over Columbus 7-3. Cale Makar, he got his 30th goal of the season. Habs and Senators both picking up wins as well. And the Stars continue to put the pressure on Winnipeg as they dump the Preds 5-1 to make it 7 straight wins for the Big D. OV watch continues tonight as Ovechkin and the Caps host the Blackhawks. Detroit are at home to Carolina and the Wild on the road to take on the Islanders. The Edmonton Oil Kings look to punch their ticket to round 2 of the WHL playoffs tonight. Game 5 in Prince Albert against the Raiders. Puck drops 7 o'clock. 5-2 Toronto Blue Jays will kick off a 9-game road trip this afternoon against the Mets. First pitch, 1:10. 10 games around the NBA tonight. Of note, Warriors at home to the Nuggets. Thunder visit the Rockets, and the Lakers will host the Pelicans. Lakers falling last night to the Warriors, 123-116. Down to Moose Jaw in the World Men's Curling Championships. Canada improving to 9-1 yesterday with a pair of wins over China and Switzerland. The Brad Jacobs rink will play 2 more round-robin games this afternoon at 2 against Austria and later tonight at 7 against the USA. Japanese Grand Prix practice overnight. Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris topping the times for McLaren as 4 red flags, 2 caused by trackside grass fires, would dominate the evening. FP2 also saw Jack Doohan's Alpine slam into a wall. Sports Update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood, Leduc.
His name is LeBron James, and he plays for LA. It would feel so good and make a big difference if I could see him play. As I go to my living room, don't know what I'ma do if I hear he ain't gon' play. 'Cause I made a bet or two that he's gonna shoot 10 threes, get 10 reads, and then the Lakers ain't gonna lose. And they got Luka, Don, A. Reeves, and then LeBron, the real big three. They gave up baby because they needed change. And you got to say his name. His name is LeBron James. I'm talking about the man on the Lakers, LeBron. I'm asking you to say his name, LeBron James. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look in the sky and say his name. Yeah. LeBron, 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 LeBron. LeBron, 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 LeBron.
That's a YouTube Trevor request right there. That's what a YouTube shows. He loves that one. We're talking about the man on the Lakers. Apparently, there's been a bunch of those from TikTok now. Even those idiots who are the Boom guys. They did a LeBron song Huss sent to me. The Boom, the Costco guys. Yeah, it actually was an okay song. I wish I played this. There's another clip I see on TikTok all the time of this like sort of chubby little kid with glasses who tries different foods. And I grabbed the clip the other day because I was like, man, we gotta play this one on the show. I haven't brought it over yet though, but it's a classic clip. This little guy, he kills me. I think he's hilarious. Like, let me see if I got it here.
I might have to take another bite.
Yeah, this guy.
I wasn't expecting it to be this good. No? I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Like, we got to take that one. I was just expecting to try it. And, not the best, not the worst, but it's surprisingly good. Like, I love this kid. I'm gonna try to transfer this over right now. We'll get it on my computer. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. The Nielson Show is brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. All right, keep the text messages rolling in. We'll get to a few more of those text messages. Where are we at here? We're on with 331. We're 69 likes
Holy
away
hell.
from changing 400. Let's go. Hammer the thumbs up for us, all right? And one of you will win nothing for hammering the thumbs up, but one of you are going to win a little gift certificate here for some kind of easy trivia.
You can brag to say you were part of that. I was one of them.
I was a big member of the show today.
Yeah.
That's what you'll want to do. Grabbing this kid, I'm going to send it over to me. We'll throw that up. All right. A third hour looks like this. Locke from Alleycat's going to be in for Beer of the Week. We got tickets for the Bids for Kids event that we are going to give away as well, which should be good. That's a good. We'll go there around 8:30 this morning. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda is on the way as well. We're going to start the hour with kind of easy trivia, trying to get hands on a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever, where right now you can stake your claim at Mr. Mike's 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor Caesar salad. Start with an Emperor Caesar salad.
Sure.
Or the rustic onion soup. Then enjoy the tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with béarnaise butter and garlic mashed potatoes. Loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. Kind of easy trivia today. Trev, who is playing?
Alicia.
Alicia's going to play. Two females?
What a week. What a week.
This is great.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. All right, let's go to Alicia. Alicia, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Have you played before, Alicia?
No. My husband made me text in.
You say your husband made you text in?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So no pressure here, but you got to deliver Mr. Mike's for the couple. You got it. You got it. Don't worry. All right, here we go. Trev will start the ticker after we read the first question. Do you follow sports or do you just listen to the show because your husband listens?
I mean, it's on every morning. I have my breakfast. I listen to you guys every morning.
All right, so you know what?
I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
You'll get it, yeah.
You'll be okay. All right, here we go. Did the Edmonton Oilers win last night?
Yes.
Name a player who scored for the Oilers.
Arvidsson.
What position does Calvin Pickard play?
Goalie.
What sport does Aaron Judge play?
Baseball?
How many points do you get for a free throw shot in basketball?
3.
Oh, 4 out of 5. You got it, though. You got it. She got it. She going to Mr. Mike's.
No! God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just stoked. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Nailed it. Her husband must be so proud right now. She got 3 out of 4. The last question, or 4 out of 5. How many points do you get for a free throw shot in basketball? She did say 3. Only Steph gets that many points for free throws.
Well, I mean, you could, I guess, you could get 3 point free throws.
Well, I mean, for
free throw, you
could get 3 free throws.
Free throws, plural. I mean, she's. The judge, Aaron Judge, question Aaron Judge, and I was like, oh, she's going to go fight.
Doesn't
matter. A win is a win is a win.
Oh, of course.
You found out yesterday with Hernan.
A dub is a dub. No matter how Hernan wants to spin his ridiculous losses.
If she would have got the last one right, it would have been 5.
You know what really stung Hernan yesterday? So, and you're all going to get a real good peek at our Tecmo reaction when we start streaming the regular season here, which is one step closer. But last time we played, last time Hernan and I played, I was the Chargers and I beat him 35-0.
Junior Sale.
So yesterday we go to play. He takes the Chargers. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take Green Bay because he likes Green Bay. He plays with Green Bay. I usually don't play with Green Bay. And it was like the second quarter of the game. He's like, Junior Sale sucks. Like he's all over he just, and I beat him with the Chargers when he thought he was going to stick it to me.
Shoddy Carpenter blames his tools, eh?
Oh, that was that was the definition of that.
Good coaching.
I would agree
helps,
with the shoddy Carpenter line. All right, so shout out Alicia, off to Mr. Mike's. Big Uke winning the day over in the nasty chat. Where was it? Was that? Oh, here it is. It's further up. Yeah, Alicia or Atifsha. That's kind of a funny idea. I don't mind. I mean, that's. I don't know if that wins second text of the day.
Kind of. Yeah.
I laugh at that.
It's a good
I laugh.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
It gave you a hoot.
I did have a hoot with that. Hey, man. Man, I had a 2 hoot the other day.
Yeah.
2 guys in goal. Makes me sweaty. I don't know what it is. Like drinking in the studio makes me sweaty. By the time we finished Two Guys, I was a sweaty mess. I think that Two Hoots just makes me sweaty.
So in about 40 minutes, we can expect a bit of the...
But damn, it's delicious. Yeah. No, that's not really with the beer.
Oh, no,
It's just, I don't know.
Just that type of brand.
Two Hoots makes me sweaty.
It's probably the PTSD from Grey Cup 2019 or whatever it was.
That might be when I tried to drink 24 of them and
it's happening again.
Overload and passed out. Yeah. Let's see if I managed to make this work here today now.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
So this is, look, I'll tell you right now. So this is you were gone.
Popeye's kidding?
No, it's a kid from TikTok who like tries all these different foods.
Tic-tac.
And he's a cute, funny looking, chubby kid. He's hilarious. But to me, like the best clip you can go here with this one, Chris Knobloch going to Pickard.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Like, is that not? That's the perfect Pickard line right now. 780-218-9999. Me trying the green onion cake last week.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
This kid is hilarious. Send in your text message. This could be how you win text of the day today for A&W. Teen Burger. It's iconic. They're dropping them off next week. How do you not want to try a Teen Burger right now? That's how you're going to win text of the day. But if you could send in a clip for this. Here, this one. Here, well, I got another one. Reed Wilkins on joining Edmonton Sports Talk after leaving Ched.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
It's a fun day. Hey, we're having a fun show today. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. YouTube Trev actually trying to use a napkin.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
But it is surprisingly good. 780.
Or when he was coming up with the idea of the crack pack cam as well.
Oh, yeah. YouTube Trev today.
When he came up with the idea.
When he came up with the idea and invented the crack pack cam.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
I love this kid so much. Anyway, keep the text messages flying in. 780-218-9999. We got a little bit of leeway here. We could take this for a little bit of a run if we want. Reed, this is from Dex. Reed Wilkins taking down a Popeye's chicken sandwich for the first time.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
This is good. Like, so for example, Alicia, who just played Kind of Easy Trivia. She said, my husband's got to force me to play, but this is Alicia today on Kind of Easy Trivia.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Oh, I love this kid, man. That's the best. Shane the Realtor, husband of Alicia, I believe, texts in and says, I was so nervous for her. Or if he's not the husband of Alicia, something's going on. Shane the Realtor's just popping in being like, I was nervous for her. What's going on here? Shane the
Realtor for life.
Yeah. All right. Keep the text messages flying in at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Ryan from SK. Hernan smoking a live dart in the studio post game.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we got to get to 3 questions too many, but we will keep coming back around to that.
It must be at 400 by now.
It's probably how you're going to win text of the day today. I mean, it's, what are we at? 51 likes away from 400. Let's hammer the thumbs up there. We're going to give away tickets to the Bids for Kids event, and then we've got a gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor for Beer of the Week with our partners over at Alleycat. You have a liner for the segment today for 3 questions.
I do. 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he thinks Leon Draisaitl is going to be just fine. Park Mazda dealer for life.
If anybody knows, it's Mitch.
He's got an inkling. He's got a feeling. He's got a, Draisaitl be...
Reed Wilkins taking time off following his birthday.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
I'm having too much fun with this. People distract me. I'd like to get into, sorry, do you have a Twitter account?
Yeah, okay. It's at @Lieutenant_. You can also follow Wayne's Cards.
Yes.
At Wayne's Cards. That's Wayne's National Hockey Card Day. Hashtag NHCD for that day. But get there early tomorrow. Doors open at 11 at Wayne's. Be queuing up. First 150. What do you get? 150? First 150 through the door, you get like a bonus. Something. There's so much stuff going on. They got the balloons. They got tickets hidden all over the place.
You want to get there early.
You can find a golden ticket, right?
There's so many things going on there. It's an extravaganza for both children and adults at Wayne Sports Cards tomorrow, National Hockey Card Day.
Come line up with me. We can talk.
Yeah, you're planning on being in early in line.
Why not?
Just take a chair. Take a lawn chair.
Weather will be nice. I might.
Yeah, take a lawn chair. Settle down. Take a tent. Stay there tonight.
Had hamburger helper last night, too.
Turns out, did you?
Yeah. Wife was out.
God, I love hamburger helper.
Italian herb.
That's a good one.
Don't need the milk.
I prefer stroganoff.
Yeah.
But Tammy doesn't like the stroganoff, so I'm like, whatever. So we'll try like cheeseburger and all those other types.
Tammy trying cheeseburger, hamburger helper.
By God, you did it again.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
By the way, Shane, the realtor, not married to Alicia, was just also nervous for her.
Let the games begin.
I think Gordo.
Interesting.
I think Gordo is married to Alicia. He texted in. He said, "That's my wife." So
staking his claim.
What is going on here? All right. Question number 1. This is a good one. If the CFL offered either of you guys or Maddie to become the director of fantasy sports, but you have to leave EST, would you take the job?
I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be qualified enough to take on that responsibility. Maddie would.
Yeah, but you got 10 years of CFL fantasy under your belt.
I just moved an organization.
You did just relocate. You might be a bad example.
I haven't won a chip.
You might
Always
be a bad
the bridesmaid,
example.
never the bride. I'm not the one doing it.
You also haven't won for 10 years in a 4-man league.
Your secondary league borrowed all the infrastructure from the Dunya.
Yeah.
He created all that. I mean, if anybody's going to get the job, it's Maddie with a bullet.
I definitely wouldn't take it. I love doing the games too much as play-by-play, so I couldn't do it.
Double dip.
As much as I want CFL season-long fantasy, and I want it bad. I want it bad. Like,
real bad.
All of you NFL guys, the moment we finally give you CFL fantasy, right here. Right here. Let's go. Let's have it.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
CFL fantasy.
But it is surprisingly good.
It is surprisingly good. But yeah, would Owanek leave his role at Edmonton Sports Talk as COO to go and become the director of fantasy football for the CFL?
See, that title alone, just COO, but director of
I know
for a nationwide venture.
I think the bastard might take it.
He'd get he wouldn't even just have an office, but it'd be higher up, probably like we're talking like 5th floor or something like that.
I think he'd probably leave. Then we'd have to promote Zach to COO.
Next in line. Zach when he gets the COO job.
No. All right. Maddie might take it. We'll find out. I don't know. Maddie, he's probably driving in. He's listening. Maddie, would you leave here to become the CFL director of fantasy football?
I think he'd have to. We'd wish him well. Like it'd suck to lose him, but you kind of have to.
It's like when Matt Damon went to see about a girl, and Ben Affleck was like sad,
same.
but also extremely proud.
Yeah.
Extremely proud.
Well, it would look good on EST where we're pumping out winner, like, you know.
We're developing the next leaders for sport in this country.
Right.
Yeah. Question number 2. Guys, when the Oilers lineup is healthy come playoff time, do you think Knobs will scratch Jeff Skinner?
No. Look what he's doing with limited time. Can you imagine if he gets regular time? He's saving him.
I think Skinner, and so let's say if we're talking completely healthy, we're talking Kane can play, Frederick, obviously, we're going to see later in this road trip. I still think Jeff Skinner has to be a top 9 forward for you.
He's having fun.
Playoff
Look
time.
at his demeanor right now.
Right.
He's enjoying his play, which wasn't the case.
You make whatever the Henrique line. So when they're healthy, you make whatever the Henrique line is or the Janmark line is your fourth line. And then you have Kane, Frederick. I mean, if Kane plays in the playoffs, you could have Kane, Frederick, and Skinner down your left side. You could have Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nuge down the middle. And then you could have Henrique as like your fourth line center with Janmark and Brown or something along those lines. You know, like
there are other names, I think.
So I think Skinner has to be in there. Nothing against Kapanen, nothing against Max Jones, but I think you need Skinner in there as a third line guy who can score a bit for you. If you're going to roll Kane and Frederick up top, and if you're okay playing Nuge down the middle. Trev, what do you think? Do you think game one of the playoffs? I don't even know if Kane will be healthy by then, but let's just say he is. Is Skinner in the lineup game one of the playoffs against the Los Angeles Kings?
He has to be.
Right?
Like, he's waited his whole career to play one game in the playoffs. So you're going to rob him of that? Like, that would be terrible. There's 3 other players. And you just said the numbers. Like, he's scored 15 goals this year. And in limited time minutes, getting healthy, scratch coming in. Hey, thanks for scoring a goal while you're sitting the next one. Like, that's tough. Gazdik's talked about it, how much that weighs on a player and how that can affect a player. So if he played a full 82, like, who knows where he'd be as far as points goes. And he's been in the bottom 6 for the majority of the season. So the fact that he's been able to put up these numbers with limited time is actually kind of impressive. So I'd have him in over Kapanen for sure. I'd probably have him in over Podkolzin. I'm not going to lie.
There's other names,
Podkolzin
right?
too.
Yeah.
And then Max Jones.
Even Max Jones?
He's ahead of Max
yes,
Jones.
I think yes.
Funny guy.
So that's my thought.
So let's just say they decided to run. Let's do a little experiment here. 97, 29, 93, and Henrique down the middle. Okay? Those are your 4 centers come playoff time. The rest of your wingers are healthy. So you've got Podkolzin, Skinner, Kane, Frederick, Janmark on the left side. On the right side, you'd have Hyman, Arvidsson, Brown, Perry. Am I missing anybody? Okay, so then let's say, and then Jones could be so let's say you play, just throwing it out there for this experiment. You play Kane with McDavid and Hyman. You play Frederick with Draisaitl and Arvidsson. You play Skinner with Nuge and Connor Brown. And then you play Henrique with Janmark and one of Perry or Podkolzin. Or you can play Podkolzin with Nuge and Skinner. And then Brown plays with Janmark and Henrique. And Perry is like your guy that could be in and out, but even he should be in. So, I mean, if they're healthy, that could be a really good forward group.
Could be.
If they're healthy. ... Yeah.
Chris Knobloch, after playing Skinner on the top line in the playoffs, player in Calgary.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
It is surprisingly good. Oh, my God, that kid. All right, keep those text messages coming in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. This question came in earlier today. I cannot remember who it was from, so I apologize, but I snagged it for 3 questions. If Alexander Ovechkin had never won a cup, would we still view him as the greatest goal scorer of all time when he tracked down Wayne Gretzky?
Well, greatest goal scorer, sure. In that,
because I know we talk about, to be the greatest, one of the greatest of all time, you should probably deliver a title somewhere.
Greatest of all time, but greatest goal scorer.
The greatest goal scorer, I think, can be separated from that conversation.
Sure. You can win a conference championship, be the best in the West or the East.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're...
Yeah, so I still think we'd say...
Have to.
He would still be the greatest goal scorer of all time, even without the Stanley Cup. But would he classify in that... greatest of all? He would be the greatest player ever to not win a Stanley Cup. Right now, I think McDavid actually holds that title. Nothing against some of these older guys that have come and gone and not won a cup.
Yeah.
But I still I think Connor McDavid's the greatest player ever to not win a Stanley Cup. I do think he gets one at some point, but until he does, I think he kind of holds that title right now. 780-218-9999. 218-9999. Pitwall Nasty. I'll give him one. I'll throw him a bone for this one. Helmet Marco after Yuki drops a P6 in FP1.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Gager right now is just like text of the day.
Gager's burner.
Text of the day. All right, keep those text messages flying in. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. How many away are we from 400? We are 41 likes away from changing 400 today, which would be pretty nice on a Friday after a little bit of a ho-hum win against the Sharks. But we'll take the 400. That would be great. On the way, that's a good. Kevin Harlan's incredible run continues.
No!
We've got to get into this. I mean, Harlan has just been on a basketball all-time heater. So we'll get into that. Lachlan from Alleycat's going to pop in the studio here around 8:40-ish with Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. We'll have the Miami Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff. Let's get to a sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric for a place where it's always game day. Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
Oilers road trip continuing last day with a 3-2 victory in San Jose. Leon Draisaitl leaving in the second period due to injury. He would not return. No word yet on his status as Brown, Arvidsson, and Skinner. The goal scorers. Kelvin Pickard, 27 saves on 29 shots faced. As the Oilers road trip will continue tomorrow afternoon in LA. Puck drop at 2. Kings, they pick up another win. 4-2 last night over Utah. Jets shutting out Vegas 4-0. Flames 4-1 over the Ducks as they still look to track down a wild card spot. Blues tying a franchise record, 11 straight wins now as they defeat Pittsburgh 5-4. Avalanche all over Columbus 7-3. Habs and Sens both picking up wins as well, while the Stars continue to put pressure on the Jets. They dump the Preds 5-1, make it 7 straight for Dallas. 3 games tonight. Ovi watch continues as Washington hosts Chicago. Elsewhere, the Wings are at home to the Canes, and the Wild visit the Islanders. The Edmonton Oil Kings will look to advance to the second round of the WHL playoffs tonight. They'll take a 3-1 series lead into Prince Albert. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. 5-2 Toronto Blue Jays kick off a 9-game road trip this afternoon against the Mets. First pitch 1:10. 10 games around the NBA tonight. Of note, the Thunder visit the Rockets, Lakers at home to the Pelicans, and Denver visit the Warriors. Last night it was the Warriors over the Lakers, 123-116. Over to curling, where Canada improved to 9-1 yesterday at the World Men's Championships in Moose Jaw with a pair of wins over China and Switzerland. They will wrap up the round robin later today, 2 o'clock against Austria, and tonight at 7 against the States. Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris topping the times for McLaren at the Japanese Grand Prix practice overnight, as FP2 saw Jack Doohan's Alpine slam into a wall as well. Sports Update is presented by the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It is the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
And here he is, having the time of his life.
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
I can't believe it.
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
My name is Jeff.
Skinner!
8:31, riding with the AM Nasty. We've got the hangout coming up. Tommy, Maddie, Glue Guy.
Glue Guy's already sent the Friday text.
Glue Guy's always trying to get everybody's stuff because he's a glue guy.
He brought in a good nacho plate yesterday. Those rounds
saw that. Gager had that pizza yesterday too.
Yeah. He fit that all in the oven too.
I mean, Gager's a genius. What can you say? We've got Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up in about 8 minutes. We're going to get to your Miami Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff, all still to come. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in today. This is a good one. Me during the pandemic watching the United Cup.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. but it is surprisingly good.
That was Real Slim Davey.
Yeah.
Real Slim Davey on that one. That's how you're going to get in the Mixer text of the day today. In the Paris Jewelers inbox, that's where you want to be. www.parisjewelers.com. 5 different locations, many of which sharing the same mall as the new EST shirt at 780.
Point, yeah.
So that's nice. But Paris Jewelers, check them out, www.parisjewelers.com. Buy now, do not pay until 2026. So that's where you can text us. One of you will win text of the day, which of course will get you that gift certificate at A&W. You can go get the iconic teen burger right now. Let's dive into That's a Good for the Italian Center, where I did pop by. So my wife, she calls me on Tuesday. And she's like, hey, I haven't thought of anything for dinner yet.
Oh,
do you have any ideas?
Dude, what a question.
I never have. I'm always just like, what about mac and cheese and wieners? And she's always like, do you have another idea? And I'm like, well, what about wieners and mac and cheese? Like, I try to trick her. It doesn't work. So I said, you know what? I'm on it. I said, don't worry about it.
Craft dinner and hot dogs.
I said, Daddy's got dinner tonight. So I went immediately and got mac and cheese and wieners. And no, what I did, but this is what you need to do. When somebody's like, when the bat signal goes out in the household for dinner tonight, I said, I'm on it. I'm on the way to Italian Center as we speak. So I roll into Italian Center, got the spaghetti and meatballs, family size. We had leftovers yesterday. We have a family of 4. Marshall and Daddy can take down a pretty good plate of spaghetti and meatballs. There was leftovers yesterday. Oh, Godfather's here again.
Oh, my God.
Too sweet. Oh, is that the thing? Is that anyway? I went there. I picked up spaghetti and meatballs at Italian Center, and I was like, yeah, I'll just take a quick rip around.
No.
See what's up. Almost about like a pound of pepperoni. It looks so good.
You just go to the deli.
I did a whole loop in the deli. I was like, oh God.
Well, you get that first, then you walk around and eat it.
They never know. So then I was like, oh, I made a mistake. I was like, okay, I'll get out of here just with this spaghetti and meatballs. But then I walked down like the bakery aisle, and they had 4 packs of donuts just sitting there.
There you go.
And I had to. A
cream horn for Daddy?
So I got a 4-pack of donuts. So one was a chocolate dip, which is my go-to.
Yeah.
There was a Boston cream, which Marshall loves.
Yeah.
There was a white one with sprinkles, which was perfect for Elizabeth. And then there was some sort of like coconut or almond covered one that Tammy loved. So it worked out perfect. So the Italian Center, that's a good.
Well, if you're popping down to Wayne's tomorrow too, I mean, you might as well parlay it.
There'll be an Italian Center visit. There'll be an Italian Center visit probably tomorrow as well. Who am I kidding?
Dine on a panino while you're waiting in line?
Who am I kidding? That's probably where we're gonna be. Okay, so Kevin Harlan, who I think is one of the best at both basketball and football. Nobody does basketball and football better than Kevin Harlan.
And streakers.
But he might be the best in basketball. And he does all the other things.
Anything
like he doesn't take himself too
unfazed.
seriously.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Kevin Harlan. And I mean, for those of you who, I don't know, everybody would probably be familiar with him, but he's a play-by-play man, CBS and TNT. And so in the last week, Kevin Harlan, this is an all-time play-by-play run. Kevin Harlan had a thrilling finish in the madness in that Texas Tech game that went to overtime.
Yeah.
Then he got Florida advancing to the Final Four. Then he flipped back over to the NBA and he got the Lakers and Rockets game, which was a pretty good basketball game. Then he went and did the Nuggets game in which Jokic dropped 61.
Double overtime.
And then last night he was on the Warriors and the Lakers. Like, this guy has... I mean, he's got the A schedule. It's incredible stuff. And last night, listen to this. He was in it last night. Listen to this guy.
By 7. Green sets a screen. Curry 3. Come on. Big hit. 10-point Golden State lead. Wow. 2 to go. Here comes Reeves. He'll fake a 3. Hachimura gets off to LeBron. Green is right there. Here's a 3, LeBron.
Boy. The answer by LeBron.
33 for LeBron. 33 for Curry. Here comes Steph the other way. 1:41 to go. Dorian Finney-Smith will defend. Curry inside, snakes, feeds, Green side. It's Pajemski. His 3. Good!
Are you tired of saying good, my friend? Pajemski now up to 28.
It
to Reeves free.
Like there's 4 3-pointers in a row, and it's good.
That no shook me.
Are you tired of saying good? No. Like Harlan is just. I love this man. God, he's awesome. And Stephen Day makes another good point. Kevin Harlan is the best on the radio for football. His ability to paint a picture with words as quick as the game is for football is unmatched.
Yeah, when we carried the games, listening to him was just a treat.
Oh, man. Remember the old Westwood one, Kevin Harlan? Like
God, that's
so
chills
good.
up and down the spine.
I mean, I don't think there's a better play-by-play guy. And to be able to do 2 sports and be close to or the best at both of them, GOAT status, man. Like that's how you get there.
Love to hear him on the call on the failed timeout yesterday in Tecmo.
Oh, that would have been. Did Hernan call a timeout? No. Should he have? Yes. How was that game? Good. Like he's just. Oh, I love Kevin Harlan, man. He's a big fan. Big fan of Kevin Harlan. All right, 780-218-9999. Smitty the Welder says, poor guy having to do play-by-play for basketball. No way, man. Yeah. I would love to call basketball. I would love to do hoops. It would be awesome. It's quick. The dunks and the threes, the calls you can have over and over.
Love to hear Harlan do a ball game, like a baseball. Like how would that?
Every single time. Oh, that's good. All right. Anyway, that's good. You need to save the family for dinner? May we send you to the Italian Center. You're going to absolutely love it. And that spaghetti and meatballs is bloody delicious. And so I was in there, and they've got the individual size. And the individual size, it was a good portion.
It'll do you good.
Yeah, it was a good portion. All right, should we do some Beer of the Week? Trev, you got the Beer of the Week song? Should we get Lachlan in here from Alleycat? All right, let's do it. Let's do a Beer of the Week here. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor gift card. We're going to be giving away here right away. Make sure you stick around for that. 840 on the Nielson Show. We are 14 likes away from changing 400. Let's go. If you're watching over on YouTube, let's change 400. Hammer the thumbs up for us. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or if you're watching on YouTube, we are going to give you a chance to win a gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, because it is Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. All you have to do is text in right now. Text Beer Me to 780-218-9999. That's Beer Me to 780-218-9999. After the show, Eric will grab one of your names, and you will win a gift certificate to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor, where you could go and use it on what we got rolling out this week with our partners over at Alleycat. 12 likes away from changing 400, so hammer the thumbs up for us there. Lachlan, welcome back, buddy. You just can't get enough of us.
Yeah, I just can't get enough. I mean, at least I wasn't an hour early this time, so I mean, I showed up a little closer. I didn't have to sit there in the dark for 40 minutes.
That's good then. Yeah. All right. So you brought some treats for us.
Yeah,
here, eh?
for sure. And I was also just going to add to whoever wins that gift card, I'll give them a free brewery tour to the.
Oh, that's cool too.
So,
okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Let me make a note of that. Free brewery tour. The inner workings at Alleycat. You'll see where the 6 o'clocker lagers made.
There you go. So, I mean, I guess that's usually what we talk about last couple of times on the show. So I brought that back as well.
We might as well start with that.
We might as well start with that. Just because, I mean, it's an
old favorite.
It is the beer of the show, so I feel like we got to start it off with cracking one of these bad boys. So as you know, this is our partnership brew with you guys, and it's on special again. It's Sobeys and Safeway coming up for the playoffs. So starting April 17th all the way till June, it's going to be on sale again. So
you don't have to pour a full glass.
I mean,
that one's mine.
Oh, okay.
Coming
to play.
Look at this. We're going through like multiple tall boys for these pours. This is great. So it's going to be on special again starting playoff time.
I'm looking to start it off right, but
all right. So 6 o'clock or lager, be ready. Playoff time. It'll be on special again.
Exactly.
It'll be the best bang for your buck that you can possibly get, and like it's simple as that.
Yeah, $12.99. So load up, and I mean we're always it's been doing great again. So we're stoked. Obviously stoked on it.
You know, it's funny. It's quick 6 o'clock or lager story.
Yeah.
Well, last week I was remember a couples party. The family party.
Yeah.
I rolled in. I brought some 6 o'clock or lager and some other Alleycat stuff.
I'm used to that feeling.
Somebody else already had beer there, and they had 6 o'clock or lager.
Like,
That's perfect. And then a buddy, Glue Guy's buddy Jay, his buddy Sickler, texted me like last week. He's on a golf trip in the mountains. Or he's on a ski
He's
trip
always
in the
on the
mountains.
road, eh?
Yeah, Sickler's always on the road with his meetings.
Yeah.
He goes, so I'm meeting up with one of my buddies on this trip, and they said, man, I got this new favorite beer. It's like this radio station beer.
Oh, I love it.
And Six like, that's the guy. It's 6 o'clock lager. So I love when it's like just spotted in the wilderness.
In the wild.
Yeah, in the wilderness, in the wild.
Cool,
and when they don't know necessarily it's associated with you too. Someone like I've had people be like, oh man, this is a great beer, and then they have no idea I work for Alleycat. And I'm like, it's great to hear. That's great. I'm glad you like it.
All right, well, let's go. Cheers to collaborations.
Yeah, cheers to
collaborations.
Yeah.
Here we go. Cheers, Jen. Damn. It's as good as the first time we tasted it last November.
Every time.
And that's the point. It's got to be consistent and good. And it hasn't.
Let me ask you this. How difficult is it to bang it out like almost the exact same every single time?
To be honest, that's probably the hardest part about making like, beer consistently is making the consistency. And I think that's like a lot of thing with you're brand new as a brewery that you struggle with.
If you do every single thing exactly the same, will you get the exact same product, or is it still like a little bit?
Like if you do everything exactly the same in the same brewery, you're gonna get as close to perfect as you can.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not without mistakes, but I mean, if you were to take this same recipe and I were to go brew it in a different brewery, it's not gonna. There's a good chance it's gonna taste slightly different.
Yeah.
And that's like a variety of different factors too. Especially just from even the conditions in the brewery, the water might be slightly different.
That's interesting.
You know how exactly. So there's really like it comes down to really a science. Our head brewer Chase is luckily, thank God for him, he's very meticulous with everything. So we have a little lab in the brewery to make sure that we're keeping consistent beer consistent.
All right, perfect. Okay, so what are these? What are these ones?
Okay, so these are the ones that are the beer of the week.
Okay,
I'm super excited about both of these. So basically, right now they're both exclusives for Sobeys, right until June. Okay. So right now, they're on sale. Basically, you buy both, you get them for $27. You're going to save basically $7 on the purchase.
Oh wow!
So it's kind of
that's
combo.
a great deal. So you want to buy both?
Yeah, you want to buy both. You want to buy both at the same time, and it's kind of the first time Sobeys has done and actually a beer of the week this close together, and we're being featured. So super excited about it. The main thing we have here is first we got our orange creamsicle ale, which was actually a summer seasonal we did a couple of years ago, but it was so popular that we wanted to bring back and do something
getting hot this weekend too. So
and finally the weather's warm up. So we have an orange creamsicle ale here, and this beer is really nice because are interesting because our one of our brewers actually just came to me with the home brew, and he's like, man, I make this I call it a lawnmower beer. It's like perfect after you mow the lawn. And I was like, yo, I gotta try this now, right? Like, go get me a growler. So he brings one back and he pours it to me, and I was like, I'm like, sorry, but like, can we use this recipe? We gotta make this beer because this is delicious. So
all right, I'm excited.
Let's start with that one.
Let's do it then. I'm trying to think. So when was this a seasonal? Like,
this would have been not last summer, but the summer before.
Okay, I'm wondering if I've had this before. I feel like maybe I have, but I can't wait to try it.
But yeah, you can try it again.
Great can.
You get your fruit for the year again from this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
looks like I don't need to have any fruit in the month of April.
We don't have to decipher between a grapefruit and a melon this time.
Exactly.
That raccoon is ripped too on the can. Hey,
yeah, there you go.
That smells exactly like an orange creamsicle. Like
there you are, my man.
That is delicious.
Yes, I forgot to say. I want to leave myself out.
Oh, you didn't get any?
No, I don't know what I was doing. I was too focused. No, I did. Wow.
Changing 400.
Changing 400. Cheers to 400 likes today.
There you go. Cheers to 400.
Cheers to changing 400.
And for that warm weather hopefully coming soon.
Yeah.
Changing 100.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And again, exclusive at Sobeys until the end of June.
That's a treat.
So
now, I don't know if you want to share trade secrets, but How do you make it taste like ice cream?
That is a good question. I mean, it's definitely a little bit of a testing process. We were lucky because he brought the recipe to us. So, but definitely one thing you can do is we use lactose a little bit to get that creaminess.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then you're going to use like a combination of extracts and puree to kind of get it to replicate.
Yeah, because it is kind of creamy. Like that's what.
So you have actual lactose in the beer, which is what gets it that like a little bit more creaminess. That's really where you're going to get that kind of flavor.
Very
but
cool.
I think it's honestly spot on for what a creamsicle tastes
like.
Like
It smells like it. It tastes like it. It's that's wild. All right, and then what do we have? A cold IPA.
Yeah, this one I did mention the last time on the show because it was also just coming out. So it is also exclusive with Sobeys again from now until June. And this is a cold IPA. So basically, cold IPA is going to be your instead of like a traditional IPA, the cold part means that it's cold fermented, like and with a lager yeast.
So it's the way that it's made.
So it's the way that it's made, but it also affects the flavor. So whereas it's going to be like really light and like crisp in the color, and then your flavor hot, you're still going to get a lot of flavor out of the hop profile, but it's a lot more sessionable, I would say, than a traditional IPA because it's just like light, crisp, and clean. It's still 5.8%, but it doesn't have that like big malt build, so you're not going to get as much sweetness from it. You're really just going to get like almost like the way a lager is just crisp and easy to drink.
Okay.
But then with a lot of flavor out of it.
But it's an IPA. So
yeah. And this one was made in collaboration, I think, with Kuma.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah, we mentioned
Kuma
it.
with
Yeah.
our gear. And so the cool thing with these two is at Sobeys, we're doing a giveaway too. So if you scan the QR code when you're at the store, we're offering a VIP table to the Great Outdoor Comedy Festival.
Perfect.
And a bunch of Kuma.
It's an all-time
Great
lineup.
lawn chairs. They make those.
It's a good
chairs.
lineup this year.
And shout out to Sobeys for the support, and shout out to you guys.
Yeah, shout out to you for coming back. Yeah. Has anybody ever told you kind of sound like Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah,
There's
a few texts. I get that, but I get Seth Rogen almost. Especially like my hair was curlier. I think like probably 4 years ago. I don't know what happened. I guess started getting old. But like I had a Jufro going.
Yeah.
I had the black horn rimmed glasses. Like I was like, man, Seth Rogen's getting.
Do you have to laugh too?
Not quite. I can't do it. But Seth Rogen's gotten way better looking, and I've gotten way worse. So we're meeting in the middle. So I was like, sick. I guess I'll take it though. What do you do? Right?
Yeah, but I sit here listening to you talking like you sat. If I had my eyes closed, it'd be like Patrick Mahomes.
Some people are on the audio stream, and that's without the visuals.
I had a guy come up to me in Calgary. I was on the street, and like we were just walking down, and this big Jack gentleman like stops and looks right at me, and like almost like a menacing face, and he's like, "You sound exactly like Patrick Mahomes." I was like, "Okay, I thought I was about to get robbed, but now we're good here." So. That's good. Well, actually,
Seth Rogen has a new show out right now. It's called The Studio. It's on Apple TV or something like that. Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah.
So that's cheers to Seth Rogen, I guess. Cheers to Patrick Mahomes.
And sounding and looking like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So,
cheers, everybody.
I don't think I can quite look like Patrick Mahomes. I'd probably do a little better with the ladies. Yeah. So
it's an IPA, but as you said, it's
light and sessionable and crisp. So it's made like a lager.
You get the IPA in there a little bit, but it's also it comes across like a 6 o'clock lager, almost like.
Yeah. And so I feel like it's nice. These two go together, like in a sense that they're opposites, but they're both nice and summery. They're easy to crush.
You can mix those.
Good combo.
You can mix those a little bit. I think you could do.
Might have to try that post show. Hey,
no, well, go buy both. You save the deal on it,
and then
mix them together a little bit. That's not a bad idea. Well, Lachlan, good. Thanks for coming by again, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Keep the 6 o'clocker lagers churning out. And the beer of the week, the Arctic Aurora Cold IPA, and then the Orange Creamsicle from our partners at Alleycat. Find that at Sobeys. Text us right now, Beer Me, at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Yeah, either one works. Thanks a lot, man. We'll let you slide out, and we'll wrap
up
the show. Thank you guys so much
again for having me. I hope we
see you again. Hope we see you again. I like when Lachlan pops by. He always brings like a flat of beer. And he sounds like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what are you going to do?
How do you go wrong there?
All right, keep those text messages flying in. We're going to get to the snow report here from Marmot Bates, and then we got the wrap coming up as well. Did Iwanek show up? Did he confirm if he'd leave us to go be director of CFL Fantasy?
Probably get to that in the hangout. Might be an announcement.
Definitely. Well, what would be the odds of that?
So stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
stoked.
Just so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
You've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
Snow report. Another beautiful morning on the mountain. 17 centimeters of snow in the last 4 days. More expected next week still.
Gee.
It is snowing at Marmot, isn't it? 121 centimeters of snow. That's the base. 307 centimeters season total. All the chairs are spinning today. 21 runs were groomed overnight. Conditions across the mountain are superb.
Superb.
It's currently minus 10 mid-mountain. Forecasted high of minus 2. A nice mild day, and the forecast is looking sunny and beautiful for the weekend. It's superb. It's superb.
Superb.
It's superb. Oh, makes my day indeed.
Damn.
Really does. Everything about today makes my day. Great visit from Alleycat.
We'll combine those.
We got to try them combined. Hey, some people sometimes refer to us as the Mixie Boys, and we're gonna mix these things up after the show. Godfather will love it. All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, huge shout out. Thanks for having us change 400. That was terrific. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get to our sound of the day coming up.
Wonder what it could be.
I think I know where we're going to go with our sound of the day.
Probably
So
factor
that's
in the
good.
text of the day as well.
It might. I do want to say this: we do have tickets to the Bids for Kids event. They're going to give them away on the Reed Wilkins show a little bit later on today as well. But if you'd like to win a pair of tickets to the Bids for Kids event, and I'd like to get this place crawling with nasties. It's a Tuesday night after work. You swing on by on the way home. You pop in. Myself and Reed are going to sit there and chat and interview the Ford brothers, and you'll be able to be there and watch, ask questions from the crowd.
You get to see Mark Connolly.
It should be a lot of fun. Mark Connolly's going to be there. There's an appetizer buffet. A bunch of the crew's going to be there at Bell and Scona. It's going to be a good time. We got 2 tickets to give away right now. So if you would like to get on those, just text in and say, ticket me at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Boys, what did we learn on the show today? I know what I learned.
Well, I learned that you're riding with Ovi.
Well, I'm riding with Ovi tonight. Plus 1750. It was 2,000 right now. 20-1.
You'll be a rich boy tomorrow.
I learned that these new shirts are now available at all 780 locations. It's our special EST sort of niche line with 780. Not available anywhere else. Only at 780. And 780, if you're like, I got to go get one. They've got black ones. They've got blue ones. There's only, I think there's like 12 blacks and 12 blues at all the locations. There's 5 locations, so these things are going to get scooped up quick. And when you get one, hop on Twitter and tweet at us and let us know you got it and stuff.
Absolutely.
You can find 780 at Southgate Mall, Londonderry Mall, St. Albert Center, the Outlet Mall out by the airport, and then Kingsway as well. So go get your EST shirt today. You can actually roll on in and buy one of our shirts in a store, which is pretty cool. Sound of the day today. I guess we got to come back. I don't know this kid's name. I'm going to have to track it down next time he pops up
What
on my
accent
TikTok
is that,
feed.
Yeah, upstate New York or what?
Yeah, some sort of eastern seaboard in the United States, I think.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
Not the best.
Not the worst.
Not the worst.
Getting to say superb.
Not the worst. All right, so where do we go for text of the day today? There was a lot of there's a lot of text messages for this one.
Do you go with that clip or do you go somewhere else, right? I mean, Lacombe Drew had the stability.
What was his? Yeah, stability, more like stability.
Because there was so much relating to that clip. I don't know how you... Unless you found one that really jumped off the page.
I mean, I'm still trying to sort through a bunch of these.
Too many.
When did we drop this? Bonnie Duran, that's a good one. Let's see. There's so many. YTT adding bubbles to his routine.
Helmet Marco after Yuki drops a P6 and FP1.
That was a good one. I like, man, just because we're pro CFL today, I'm not talking about the stupidity one. Yeah. How about this one? Oh, no, never mind. That one's about me calling a game. That seems too selfish. Let's see here.
Big UK had one about the Achy Breaky podcast.
He did have one about the Achy Breaky podcast too. Oh, damn it.
Getting that out there.
I just refreshed the page.
Well, who was it?
I can't even remember. Ryan, maybe Ryan from SK? Nope. Although he had a good one. Hernan smoking a live dart in studio. Wasn't Shane the realtor. Wasn't Collingwood Rob. This is a good one. Let's go with this one. Saskatoon Muncher. It's not going to win text of the day or anything, or text of the year, but it's kind of funny because it fits into the bit that we're doing right now and just how we operate. When you listen to Edmonton Sports Talk for the first time, hear 1,000 inside jokes and running bits that you don't understand.
I was expecting to, try it. I was going to say, it's okay, not the best, not the worst. But it is surprisingly good.
It's surprisingly good. It's surprisingly good. We're surprisingly good. Tell your friends. We think they'll like us. Saskatoon Muncher, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, you'll get the jokes eventually.
Iconic. You will eventually.
Yeah.
Especially since we're going to be playing this kid 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy we're going to take for a run for a while here. I absolutely love this
Got a lot of legs.
Congratulations. You won text of the day for A&W where the Teen Burger remains iconic. We're going to have some of these bad boys dropped off next week for the staff as well. Think real cheddar cheese, mouth-watering bacon, beef, lettuce, onion, tomato, pickles, all topped with A&W's special teen sauce. Canada's original burger chain since 1956. Hangout is on the way. Is Jasmine in today too?
I don't believe so. She's in the chat here.
I thought she was in the... no, yeah, I guess. But I thought she was in the...
Glue guy.
Jasmine's not in today, is she? Is Jasmine in today on the Hangout? I know. I saw she asked for a coffee. So
is she waiting? The elevator's not working.
So we're looking at Maddie, Tommy, Glue Guy, and Jasmine.
Up for an Esty, maybe.
What a hangout.
Hangout of the year?
What a hangout. That's going to be a good one. Make sure you stick around for that. Thank you for all the thumbs up over on YouTube today. Hey, we also debuted the first technology ever of...
Trev
invented a card
He had the idea.
Nobody had ever done it before in the history of Edmonton Sports Talk. YouTube Trev invented a way for us to show our cards. And we did a tour of what a show today. We did a tour
awesome.
of everything.
Don't tell Maddie we're in his office.
So many people are very curious, if they're elsewhere, down south, out east, and they want to know what the studio looks like.
Yeah.
And they got a little glimpse.
We'll do more.
Next week we got Will and the Wolf in there. We'll say hi to those boys. Who knows?
Victor downstairs.
I want you to get a video of me live on the show sitting in Maddie's chair.
Yeah, we could start off like the possibilities.
Start off the show even.
They're endless.
We can do whatever we want with this cam. Oh man, it's technology. Am I right?
We didn't even cheers to it.
We did. We should have though. Cheers to you. Cheers to all of it. Cheers to everyone. All right, that's going to do it. Hangout's coming up. If you're watching on YouTube, turn on autoplay. That'll take you right over to the Hangout. It's going to be a good one. I'll be back with the Lock Shop. CFL futures are out. MVPs.
Let's go.
Win totals.
Let's go.
We're going to be on that. You know who got this done? Stu Johnston. They did.
Stability.
They didn't put him out until he was the man.
He's not even on the job yet officially.
For YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. I'll talk to you 11 on Lock Shop. Take it easy.